not linked to Facebook?
Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I am joined by
Jason Harris.
And who are we again? It's Greg Nagel. That's right. I remember now. Getting a little
We're here
old.
for our seemingly quarterly podcast meeting, and our last show was September, I think, 3rd or 2nd, something around
Got a
there.
little
Yeah.
busy there.
I like our
Yeah.
cool podcast background with like our abstract faces in it.
Yeah,
dope.
I was messing around earlier, and I forgot to change it to the one that's normally there, but I'll just keep it there because it looks
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We put in effort. It's custom for our show.
I have
We don't just
another
use
one here that is actually a color version. Great audio right here. There's the color version. It's just very chaotic.
Yeah, that's a little loud.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool
There we
though.
go. Tone it down with the black. Anyway, yeah, we're here for our, I don't know, second or third episode of 2023. Tim's not here,
Woo!
obviously. I didn't even hear from Tim in the chat. He's like
He's maybe traveling the
checked
world.
out. Yeah, I have a feeling that's what's happening. So
Tim
just three of
always
us
seems
today.
to be going somewhere.
yeah, that's kind of what he wanted to do with his life after he left Untapped was have like I don't know if I'd say he has an easy job, but it seems like he has a job that he doesn't have to put much effort into, and then he just
Yeah.
travels a lot. So
That's a dream, man.
Good on him. Yeah, that's
good
rad.
for him. So yeah, today I think we're all focusing on basically doing a holiday theme type show since we
Holiday
don't
theme.
know
Yeah.
if
I
we'll be
mean,
back
I
this
haven't
month.
had wintry beers in forever. I remember them being bad. So we'll see how it goes, man.
I don't really have a winter theme. The only winter-ish beer I have is this Enjoy By from Stone.
Oh wow.
I actually got that one too.
Yeah. I
So
think
here's a
that's
fun fact.
I haven't bought one of those in a while.
We can talk about it when we drink that beer, but the general reputation of Stone seems to be in the toilet. Like I've been seeing Reddit threads and stuff, and it's just like, what happened to Stone? Their beer used to be good. Now it's all crap.
we know what happened. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
I
But-
mean, Sapporo didn't hide what they wanted to do with Stone. They want to use Stone to brew more Sapporo, and it doesn't mean Stone's not going to make Stone Brewing Company beer, or that means their beer is going to suffer from that.
But that's I
have
think
a
their
feeling-
beer has suffered, right?
I
like
have a feeling that it can possibly suffer from that, and it
I-
sounds like that's what's happening. I haven't
Honestly-
had Stone beer more than
Dude.
maybe once or twice this year.
their beer
I think-
always has an edge, right? Like that's the thing with Stone is there's like a bite or an edge to a Stone beer that is what I would say is like their house profile that is
Yeah.
not present in any of their current line of beer. Like all of their
Yeah.
beer feels like it's been made milder and milder to appeal to probably as big of an audience as possible.
Which makes
Yeah, their
sense.
anniversary beer was pretty good. They re-released some of their big double IPAs, the big 9.4 bombs.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, fuck, these are really good, But like, how often do I drink 9.4% beer other than
Exactly.
on the show?
Right.
Probably
Yeah, the
one or
highest
two
I
here
go
and there.
lately is Swami's, and that's what is Swami's?
seven ish.
Yeah.
7, yeah, something like that. So,
Well,
and
but-
I don't know what you're starting with, Jason. Are you starting with something besides an IPA?
Yeah, in good Stone news, Firestone is still good usually, despite being bought out. This is a Firestone Cinnamon Dolce Interestingly, the branding on this looks like really old school. Like this looks like a Union Jack label from like 20 years ago.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool they're going back with like throwback branding, I guess.
I have the same beer, luckily, but mine is from 2021, so I don't know
Oh,
how
wow.
well it's going to hold up. This was something from my cellar that made it over in the move to the new house.
It's a nitro can pour. It's
Oh,
Does
that's
that
fun.
mean I have to pour it like a nitro beer?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
There's
hold it upside
instructions on
down.
the side. You were supposed to roll it around first. I didn't do it either, but I got a decent little nitro head on there.
I didn't plan on drinking this whole thing. I have to get another glass, but
I got
all
me
good.
some Balaton bones because
What is that?
my bones are Balatoned. I don't know. It's a Firestone. It's basically
Is that
the
a-
same color as
Isn't that a
that beer.
fancy exercise bike?
Yeah, but it looks like an
Peloton
old,
bones?
maybe something that was really good from the old Buellton spot. Balaton
Oh.
Bones is a
It,
American wild ale fermented with Balaton cherries.
it looks like it comes with a included iPad and built-in beer drinking instructors. They give you a guided tasting for
Exactly.
$19 a month.
All right, keep pushing, everybody. Keep pushing.
I know you're drunk, but you can do one more.
Is that still a thing? Their other
pop-
location?
Buellton is still there, but Barrelworks
There we go.
not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So the restaurant and stuff is still there, but yarp.
So this
All right.
one still has a decent amount of cinnamon on it. Smells really good. Like, and I have 2 beers from Firestone today too.
No,
So,
this is like super desserty in like a good way though.
yeah, this is only 6% alcohol too. That's fucking cool. That's awesome.
It's got kind of
Oh,
like
that
a
glass.
coffee cake sort of thing going to it.
Oh yeah.
Again, you got that cinnamon bite. It's got a little bit of sweetness, like some sweet chocolatey flavors. This is dessert beer done right. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's not like over the top, super sweet, and like it's not. What are the beers that are it's not a pastry beer. It's
Right.
It's yeah, like
And
you said.
what's
it's
the
a really
ABV
good
on that?
dessert beer? 6%.
Yeah, it's pretty
6.
low.
Okay, cool.
And
And it's
also,
sort
I
of
genuinely
what's the
don't-
base? Like a stout, like their oatmeal stout, or
Yeah, I would say it might be. Oh God, what is the
the velvet?
Yeah, it might be. It's not as. It doesn't have the body that Velvet Merlin has, though. It doesn't have that like silky mouthfeel to it. So I don't know if it's
Yeah.
exactly the same beer.
I haven't had that beer in a while, but the last time I did, it was the nitro version of it, and I remember really liking it, and then I could never find it again.
Yeah, it's kind of disappeared, unfortunately. But this one, it's I don't generally like a nitro beer, and overall, I think this whole package works really well. I've almost drank the whole thing already, so it's real good.
I mean, when I found out it was 6%, now I'm not so sad about pouring the entire glass because I can probably finish it. and it's
Dude,
not
I
gonna kill me.
drank an entire Abyss the other night, and that was the end of my evening.
Which one?
Dude,
What-
Dominant and
what
Abyss is
year?
that's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that I was like 30 minutes later, like, all right, I gotta go to bed.
Your Peloton instructor was like,
Come on.
"No, Jason."
No, dude, shockingly, a 2013 Abyss, drinking great, almost no oxidation on it.
Wow.
Still had like a ton of vanilla notes, like a ton of like coffee-ish flavors. Like, dude, Abyss is like cellar MVP. It really does age better than
So if
than
it's a
most. Good to hear.
2013 on the bottle, did it say best to enjoy or wait until 2013? Is that
Best
the one it
after
does?
14.
Oh, it said best after 14. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
because they labeled their.
Best after.
I think they stopped doing it, but for the longest time they labeled their stuff as "don't drink until this date" because you have to age it in the bottle, which I didn't. I always
Yeah, they
disagreed
have a
with that.
best after date on it. I don't know if they honestly I can't remember last time I saw that beer. Deschutes has really, I think, refocused out of California.
Yeah.
The last time I was in Arizona, like I went to a nice beer store where I was, and it was fucking Deschutes everywhere. They had a whole end cap. Like Deschutes was huge in Arizona, and I'm like, bro, I might get a couple 6-packs of fresh squeezed in my local Total Wine.
Fuck yeah.
Otherwise, I don't actually like that beer.
Wow.
Weirdly, never can enjoy it. I feel like I
Hmm.
should. I try it every couple years, and I'm like, yeah, still bad.
Oh, okay.
And I generally like all IPA. It's weird.
Yeah, for my cinnamon dulce, for it being 2 years old, it held up very well. It's pretty much in cellar temp the entire time, which is around 65. I guess it could be a little lower, but these flavors tend to fall off over time. And if you do have one of these sitting on the shelf, I recommend opening it now because it's not going to get any better. So,
Yeah.
Greg, how's your saison or your
Dude,
wild
have you
ale?
seen this thing? It's
Ooh.
very,
wow.
very
Yeah, it looks like red wine.
Yeah, dude, it does. It looks like rosé, like a deep rosé. Really beautiful pour. The head dissipated really fast on it. The nose is like that. I don't know if you've ever been in Michigan, but there's like these dried cherries you can buy, and they're really, really tasty. And I think it's what a lot of breweries use, honestly, for their cherry sours, so they don't get like that Robitussin sort of vibe to them. It's got that really deep,
Batus.
like some really big funk in the background, sort of like when you put your tongue on a 9-volt battery. Have you ever done that? You get like that sort of like electrical taste on your mouth.
Mhm.
It's got a little bit of that, a little bit of salinity, and just big cherry bomb. Not like cherry pie, but like those dried cherries.
Dude, I got a mellow gold grapefruit the other day, and I made a cocktail with it. And I don't know if maybe I'm allergic or something because my whole mouth was tingling after I
Oh,
drank it.
no.
I was like, oh no, this is thing's a lot. It's weird
Yeah,
too.
this
It looks like a giant lime. Anyways,
of Mellow Gold. I never heard of that. I was I've
And-
had Beck Mellow Gold, but this Firestone was kind enough to send me their fall Brewmasters Collective box, which included
wow.
I think 5 beers. It was their anniversary beer, and 2 other beers that I'll be drinking on today's show, and and some cookies. There's literal cookies that came in the box.
oh, that's nice.
Brown butter and sea salt. Unfortunately, they're past their due date. I should have eaten them last month, but
Oh, you're fine.
no, they're
No?
not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like there's brown
Okay.
butter in there that sort of turned into like a little like butyric little barfiness, like
Oh.
Parmesan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're like nice cookies, they aren't made with all like fucking preservatives and shit. They probably
Yeah.
don't hold.
Like just opening it, I was like, oh wow, it smells like somebody barfed.
Like when you go buy like
It's not
good bread, you have to eat it in like 3 days because otherwise, it'll
Yeah,
fucking-
100%. Man, the flavor on here is really nice and crisp too, not over the top sour.
that color
would
is
say-
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's not anything like a Barrelworks beer. Barrelworks beers have always had this like common thread of like French oak through everything. And this one, the oak is, I don't even know if there is oak in here.
I gotta imagine it's a
I don't
whole
know.
it's a whole new guard over there doing their wild stuff, right? Like the folks that were running the Barrelworks program over the years have all kind of filtered out.
Yeah.
So do we lose
It
Greg?
says on Untapped that it's composed of a light oak aged base beer. So
Hmm.
and it allows for a secondary fermentation. So there is a little bit of oak on there, but it's very light according to
Back
Untapped.
on my browser. Oops.
Now
Let's
Greg's the bottom. Started from the bottom. Nice here.
What happened?
is on wild ale composed of light oak aged base. Yeah, okay. So there's a little bit of oak in there, but not like Barrelworks was ever like. If you like Firestone's house character, the Barrelworks beers are so oaky that you're like, okay, you knew it as soon as you open the like you smell it blind. You're like, that's a Barrelworks beer.
You're like, okay.
That
Okay.
so it's kind of refreshing.
I got it, John.
Thank you.
Big old 7 IBU on this.
Wow, that's
Less than 200 check-ins.
all right. My next beer is not a holiday beer. It is more of a fall beer. And I'm honestly a little bit dreading it. And I think I've actually had this beer on the show before, but
Oh, Yeti.
it is pumpkin spice Yeti.
Oh, I think I've had that before. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, like, part of me is like, maybe it'll be okay, but I hate pumpkin spice too. But this is for the people. We're not doing shows that often. I got to do something fun. I got to keep it fresh.
I remember like opening. I remember buying that, going, "I'm gonna shit on this beer," and being like, "It's pretty good." Yeti is a really good base for a lot of flavors, so I think it'll be fine.
Honestly, Great Divide does a pretty good job of not overwhelming the beer with whatever adjuncts either. So we'll see. Oh, wow. Oh,
Oh,
no.
oh, Yeti.
Crap. Overflowed. Too much head.
The Yeti got you.
Did I tell you guys I went to the North American Bigfoot Center?
Oh no, where was
Yeah,
that? Oregon?
yeah, in Portland. It was like real serious. Like there was not a wink in the whole fucking place. They were like on, September of 1998, a Bigfoot was spotted off the side of I-35. Here's a lane marker that was chipped loose from that part of the road where they
God.
found him. And it's like, how is that proof? It's just a fucking reflector from the road. And they had all this stuff. It would be like, look at this scientific camera that's looking at this hair. That shows that we're real people and not just kooks. Like the whole place was very like
Just proving that they're not crazy.
yeah. No, this is real. He's fucking real, you guys. And all these pictures with like famous Bigfoot hunters from TV and shit. It was
Oh, the Bigfoot story. I was
Come
away.
on.
I had
Yeah.
to get a glass. I heard this story over Thanksgiving.
Now I'm drinking a pumpkin spice Yeti. It's got a big foamy chocolatey brown head.
That does look like nice head, I gotta say. When I see a stout that has dark head like that, that is just like a visual turn on for me when it comes for a stout.
A lot more Yeti than pumpkin spice, actually. I was expecting like
Mhm.
it's a very light touch. But
There
the,
it
af-
is.
the aftertaste. It's got like
Bacon spices.
yeah, it's got like this astringent aftertaste that's coming through that not great. On the front, it's all dark chocolate and like got that classic Yeti roasty taste, and there's a little bit of the spice kind of adding onto it, but I do not like that finish. It's lingering. It's on the palate.
Maybe bake with it.
Put it in some chili.
Nah, the baking spices probably overwhelm.
Yeah, it's true. What even
Make
is
pie with
pumpkin
it.
spice, anyways? Like,
It's like clove, little cardamom,
is allspice in there, maybe?
allspice.
No,
I
I
don't
don't think
know,
it's
man.
allspice. Yvonne wanted to buy some pumpkin spice for the pumpkin pie she made for Thanksgiving, and it was all sold out. But it's,
Oh, God.
I forgot what it is. There's a really strong component in there that just totally stunk up our. We have like a drawer with all of our spices in it. What the hell was it? I can't remember what it was, but it's like 3 ingredients, and that's basically it. Clove, I think. Clove.
Yeah, clove
I think it was
definitely.
clove. It was just super, super strong clove.
Yeah, clove is very strong.
Reminds me of high school because clove cigarettes. and
Smoking
stuff.
cloves.
Ugh,
Oh yeah,
nasty.
Listening to the Cure, smoking some cloves out back.
That was like the
Nineties,
goth-
living in the
popping.
90s,
I hung
man.
out with a lot of goths in high school, and so they all smoked cloves.
I hung out with
All
some
right.
assholes and they smoked cloves.
My second beer is Firestone's Brewmasters Collective, the Applejack Flash. It's a barley wine brewed with apple juice.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
freshie.
If it were any other brewery, I would find that highly suspect. But since it's Firestone Walker, I have faith. It's
I
gonna-
mean, this is like, I don't know. They're just fun to try.
You know
What-
what?
sure.
What's wild is in 2023, I've never heard of a beer with apple juice in it. That's they
I'm
fucking
sh-
found something new.
I'm sure we've
Yep.
had apple beers on the show before. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, it's not. I mean, I've had them before. They're just, I don't know. It's apples. Apples
made a
usually
pretty-
like an off flavor.
I got some like Honeycrisp apple cider, and I basically made an old fashioned, and then I filled the rest of the glass with the apple cider. It's fucking great.
Oh, it's a pretty looking beer. Really nice tan all throughout. Looks like a barley wine. Yeah, I think there's a special name for beers with apple juice or maybe co-fermented. Isn't it like a graph or something? Graph,
That sounds
Graf.
right. Yeah.
A graph.
Well, because I know cider, but like there's a beer cider blend, and there's a name for that, which I'm fucking forgetting.
Wow, it smells so good, dude.
Really?
It's like super desserty. It smells like a caramel apple, honestly. Like a salt, like a sea salt caramel apple.
See, now that makes sense. Like when you sell it like that, that makes more sense than just an apple. You know.
Snake bite.
What's the ABV on that again?
A snake bite is cider
yeah,
and Guinness, right? Pretty sure.
ABV is 12%.
Oh boy,
Oof.
It's a big boy.
you gonna get bit.
I got bit by that pumpkin spice. It was actually pretty bad. I'm not going to finish it. So I moved on to Belgium, where the beer is going to just taste like beer.
Hopefully.
And I have a Derank. Is that how you pronounce it?
Drank.
Derank Père Noël. It is a exceptional Xmas beer, unpasteurized, unfiltered. And you going to tell me what the fuck it is on here anywhere? Nope, just a Christmas beer.
It's a Christmas beer, which usually means higher alcohol.
Probably a
probably
Belgian,
a lot
probably
of
a dark
ester
strong.
profile. Probably phenolic as hell.
It's actually 7%, which isn't that high.
Oh, that's not bad.
It actually looks better on camera than it does in person. It looks kind of gross. It's very like
The green light's not helping either.
yeah, maybe. No, honestly, like I said, it's photographing way better than it looks to my eye. It looks
Oh,
very,
it looks better
like,
on camera. Oh, okay. I
yeah,
thought you
the
said
camera
other-
looks better. No, it looks like kind of mop buckety.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Here's your mop bucket.
I was going to open a beer from a San Diego brewery that I really like. I'm not going to mention it because I have this bad habit now where I buy a beer and I don't bother to look and see whether or not it's a hazy IPA. I just see IPA or I look at the hops. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Like we were at 8-Bit Brewing in Marietta and I got a God of Pour, which is a hazy IPA, but I didn't realize it was hazy until it came to the table. It was still good, but because I don't drink hazies lately. So
I'll power through it.
That beer, I'm opening a beer that I got from the Lost Abbey. Let's see if the camera's going to focus on it. This beer is called Libri Divini, I believe.
Divini, okay. Not like Vinny Trillerzo.
Divini, like divine or divinity.
DE space Divinity.
But it's a wild ale with lemon and vanilla, aged on oak.
Lemon and vanilla? Okay.
Lemon and vanilla. Yep, that's what it says.
So
Man,
you're
these
gonna get
guys,
like a limoncello kind of thing, right?
creative brewers.
What happened with the Lost Abbey? Are they technically not a thing anymore?
I saw news today.
No,
they're still doing stuff, but they have they're opening up a tasting room with another Vista brewery.
Okay.
I forget the name. Maybe it's Vista Brewing.
I know they moved out of the old Stone building finally, and they downsized to a smaller location, which you never see a brewery do that. Like, I think, a lot of breweries planned to be the biggest thing in the world, and when that didn't work out, they just kind of went under. But like getting smaller is also an option, right?
Well, they're allowed to do that because they're basically under Pizza Port, and Pizza Port is doing the heavy lifting, allowing Vinny to do his
Are they though?
Two separate companies.
Yeah, I don't know how, because there's Port, which is part of Lost Abbey.
But they're intermingled. That's what I'm saying.
Like, the relationship is weird. I wish we could get them on to be like, so how exactly does this fucking business relationship
I think
work?
didn't we did a show with Tommy a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we asked that exact question because it's very confusing. I'm sure for everybody.
Positive the owners of Pizza Port have a pretty big stake in Port Lost Abbey. So.
Maybe, but I don't think the company's like, if Pizza Port makes money, that money doesn't go into Lost Abbey. I don't think like they're different.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to say
all different owners, different corporation. Yeah,
I think the Port Brewing stuff kind of broke off.
I see what you're saying. So they're not intermingled, even though
so there's Pizza Port,
owners,
and he's like, I'm not doing pizza, so it's just Port.
And I think the Port Brewing stuff has crossover because that was stuff that Tommy brought over from when he was at Pizza Port. But at that point, I feel like they were like, all right, we split and now we're two different things. But again, I don't fucking know. We should find some.
I mean, because now Pizza Port's making Mongo. Like, I mean, and I guess you can have, if you have a recipe, you can let any brewer you want brew it. But I mean, I still think they're
Pizza Port Mongo is good and there's no chunks in it.
I haven't had I mean, even since it came out, I saw it on the shelves yesterday. I didn't buy it, but I still haven't had it. I don't think.
Ben B in our Patreon chat is asking where your Amaro hat's from, Greg.
So yeah, cool place. It's called Brucato Amaro. They're up in San Francisco. And if you like Amaro at all, like I do, they sort of like, Amaro is sort of like they have their base spirit of liqueur, and then they go out in the fields around surrounding their place, the distillery, and they pick fruits from the local orchards, and that'll be like their Campari, their bitter liqueur. And then there's green chartreuse, which is a French version, and what's the other one? I forget. Montenegro, Maro Montenegro, sort of like you can make black Manhattans with it and stuff like that. But so they had the bright idea of going, well, let's just pick stuff that's from our local farmers markets and do the same thing. So it's essentially like California style Amaro or Amari. So there's like a red version of Campari. There's a green chartreuse version and a Montenegro version, and they're all delicious and super different from like their inspiration. But like if you make a Negroni with the one that's sort of like the Campari one, it's so delicious and very cool. So it's all like yerba sante and stuff like that. That's all native plants to California. It's really cool.
Dude, I really like a Negroni, but I can only have one like once a month. Like it's not like a regular for me.
Well,
it's like I want something different. I'm gonna have a Negroni.
The problem with Negroni is people treat it like a big stirred, boozy cocktail, which there is a lot of alcohol in it. So I like to put crushed ice in it and soften it up quite a bit. And it makes it much more like just approachable and less bitter and less taxing. Because I mean, Campari is very syrupy, sweet, and bitter at the same time. Gin is on the bitter side, and sweet vermouth there's a lot going on. And just put a big rock ice in there, sort of. It's just not how I like to drink it.
Yeah, I'll have to try that next time because I usually do the big rock in there. And
dude, smack it with your in your Lewis bag, dude, and beat the shit out of it.
Honestly, it is really fun to crush a little bag of ice.
And it's the best ice there is because you get the big chunks, you get the small chunks.
What's your go-to on gin, Greg?
Dude, I like to experiment every time. So whenever I'm out and about, I always try and find just something that I've never had before. We were just out in Joshua Tree a few weeks ago, and I found Joshua Tree Distilling, or just Joshua Tree Spirits, and they have their own sort of everything's sort of like alien vibe out there. They're all like spiritual and shit. And so it's all these like blessed like botanicals and stuff. So I've been drinking that and enjoying it. Other than that, like when I go to the store and just buy gin, I'm like, I've been digging Manly Spirits. They're out of Australia. They have two different gins. One's like a pink one with I forget what's in it, like pink peppercorns, and just a really good solid sipper. It's like $30 a bottle.
I've been I'm kind of cheap and low maintenance, so I just have the Ryan Reynolds gin all the time.
Dude, aviation, like if you want to go really old school, just go Beefeater. London Dry, baby.
Aviation to me is like a good mix. It's not too piney. It's pretty mild. It's pretty mellow. It mixes in cocktails well, and it's cheap. You can spend like $35 and get a handle of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I've learned
if you're just mixing cocktails, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I've learned you need to have, if you get the big bottle, you need like a smaller bottle to refill or something. Because trying to pour a cocktail out of that big fucker is like good.
Yeah, the other tip is to, if you're a big martini fan like I am, that's where you spend your money on your high-end gins. That's really going to make a big difference.
I'm not a dry martini fan at all. My dry vermouth is like, my dry vermouth has got like that much missing, where my sweet is like gone.
That's the other thing. A lot of people like to shit on dry vermouth, but I originally the cocktail was 50-50, so half gin, half dry vermouth. And I was like, let me just try that one time. I got some really good dry vermouth and actually quite enjoyed it. It was great.
I've heard people speak really well of the Noilly Pratt dry vermouth. Noilly Pratt. I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just go to in Costa Mesa, there's a place called the Mixing Glass, and it's honestly one of those places that I don't pretend I know anything. Let's go, hey, what's a good dry vermouth? And they go, here's your top, here's your middle tier, here's the most expensive one, but honestly just go with that one because it's the best.
You recommended that. You recommended that spot when I was out there, and we got some cool stuff there. That's where I got my yellow chartreuse bottle.
There you go.
Yeah,
you can't barely find that shit these days.
Going back to
John's
that
like,
Did I
Manly
talk about my
John's
Spirits-
beer?
like, I gotta tune out of
Oh, I
cocktails.
No, going back to that Manly Spirits, they have like 3 different gins. One's called Lily Pink, one's called the Beaches, and one's called Ruby Dusk. Do you know which
Yeah, and
one
they're all
you're
they're
referring
low
to?
on the Jupiter or Juniper, not Jupiter. So
Get
yeah,
more
I've had the
stupider.
pink one and just the
The Lily Pink is what you were referring to then.
Lily Pink and just the plain one.
Because they have one that's really pink, and then they have one that's like a faded pink, and then one that's more of a grapefruit color. So
Okay, I don't know.
So-
you can buy that here, right, in the States?
Yeah, I've had it.
So to
Bought
talk
it at Mixed
about-
Glass.
To go back to beer, was what the people tuned in for. This beer is interesting, and it's kind of hard to describe. It's not as boozy as I thought it would be. It's not as phenolic as I thought it would be. There's not as
Mhm.
much spice as I expected. It's honestly kind of mellow.
I was
Yeah,
honestly
Durank is one of
expecting
those
you to say
breweries.
that it was really phenolic. That's what I was totally expecting.
No, a little bit, but not a lot. And the spice is there, but it's there like how you get coriander in a wit, where it's like there's a hint of it, but there's not a lot.
Mhm.
I do think it is kind of like a holiday baking spice, but it's used very sparingly. And
Did
it's
they have a date on that bottle?
they don't. It looks relatively new. Oh wait, they do, but I can't read it because my gamer lights. Well, it says July 23. Oh wait,
Okay.
expiration date 2028.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
cool.
it's from it's this year.
So
Which
I was
for a
assuming
Belgian, that's fine.
it has relatively low oxidation.
No, there's no oxidation on it at all. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
cool.
again, I think it's made this year, and it looks like a pretty fresh bottle.
Yeah, because when I see like Belgian ass beers on the shelf, that I'm not familiar with, I always go into them thinking this is going to be oxidized or it's going to be phenolic, and it's something, and I'm like setting myself up for failure. But
No,
that's usually
no,
what
I'm
I
with
think.
you because Belgian stuff is super phenolic in general, right? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of a trademark character, and but this one, it's just a real well balanced drinking beer, and for someone like me that generally doesn't like your darker holiday spice ales, even though that's my fucking theme today, this works really good. Good beer.
Hmm.
If you see it, buy it.
Cool.
You want a nice
Yeah,
Christmas
going back
drink?
to this Libri Divini from not now every time I say Divini,
Yeah,
I think
what's
of
the
Vinnie Colaiuta.
lemon and the vanilla like?
It works pretty well. The vanilla is very light. It's very subtle. So, and they're calling this a wild ale, oak aged. The oak's pretty light. As far as it being a wild ale, it's definitely more on the acidic side of wild rather than like a, like a funky
That's why I'm like
kind of thing.
adding lemon to an already sour beer seems sort of weird, but okay.
Maybe the lemon is what is making it more tart.
Does it say what kind of lemons? Because there's
I bet you it's not lemon flesh, but it's lemon peel. If I had to guess, like they're
Zested.
just saying lemon, but I bet you it's zest. Yeah, because you just want to get that lemon character. There, I doubt lemon juice in beer sounds like a recipe for fucking disaster, right? Like trying to deal with acidity and everything. But if you add the lemon peel, you're gonna get that aroma. You're gonna get that flavor.
Yeah, and if you fermented lemon juice or lime juice, is just gross too.
I'm gonna
The
make
back of
some
the label
lemon
is just basically
some
word salad. It's a stupid story on the back, but it doesn't tell you anything
Oh.
about beer. But if
The
you
humble
if
lemon
you didn't
was
tell me this
invented
was
in
made with
1988.
lemon and vanilla, I wouldn't have detected the lemon and vanilla.
Oh, really?
Maybe the vanilla a little tiny bit, but it's definitely it just comes off as a nice sour beer. It's
Okay.
not too acidic.
How old is it?
I want to say this is it's not labeled, but I think I've had it for a year or so. So everything I kept from the move is relatively fresher beer from my cellar.
Okay, but that is a cellar beer, right? It's not like a
Yes.
new one you just bought on the shelf.
Yeah, it's a cellar beer. Yeah,
I'd be curious-
It's within a year.
You know, I remember having something with lemon and vanilla from them that was bad.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on. But I don't think it
Everything's
was
on the
that.
website, so you can check to see if we've had this. I don't think we've had it.
2 years. It came out in 2021, so it's 2 years old.
Okay, so it's 2 years old. All right.
Yeah. I swear I had one of those with. No, that one. The timing doesn't line up. The one
No,
I'm thinking of.
it definitely wasn't this beer because this is a good beer. Like, I mean, the vanilla is more on the nose than anything else, and everything else about it is just a really, really good Lost Abbey barrel aged sour beer. So, or a wild ale.
Yeah, and Lost Abbey generally doesn't miss, but when they had their like membership program. I remember my friend of the show Zach had one, and it was like, oh no, this thing is just a mess.
I don't know.
Yeah. So my Applejack Flash, which I assume is just Sakuba. How do you say it? It's abacus backwards, right? So it doesn't matter how you
Sakuba.
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Sukaba.
Sukaba.
There you go, Sukaba.
Assume it's Sukaba, which is 12.5%, and then add a half, it's thinned down to 12 with apple juice. And yeah, it's a tasty beer. I mean, that barley wine rocks, right? Firestone Walker doesn't mess up barley wine. It's just like one of those ubiquitous things that you assume you're going to buy a barley wine, and you're going to get a really good result with their beer with Brynildson. And yeah, it's the apple juice sort of thins it out a little bit in all the right ways. Honestly, it's not too thick, it's not too syrupy. It just kind of goes down. It's a nice sipper. If you love caramel apples with some sea salt on it, then perfect pairing right there. Beautiful beer.
Cool.
John, I think we should try the Enjoy Buys.
I agree. Let's do it.
I'm due
If
for
you guys are going hoppy. If you guys are going hoppy, I'm going to go hoppy as well. I don't have that beer though.
Because I'm happy. Oh, hey, we got spam in the chat.
Hey, that's how you know we made it.
Great. Hopefully it stops because I'm not logged into
to Twitch. Yeah. Everyone, please ignore that spam. We don't feel
make me a mod, so because I have it open.
That's probably just as difficult as me logging in.
More so, probably.
Just deal with it. Yeah.
If it gets bad, then we'll have to deal with it. But
it's not. Yeah.
For now, they got us.
They botted us.
So yeah, me and
you guys are
drinking Stone Brewing Company's Enjoy by 010124. They're unfiltered IPA, which looking at it, yeah, you can tell it's unfiltered, but it's still pretty clear. I mean, I wouldn't say clear. It's definitely not hazy, but
when you're brewing 200 barrels of something and you don't filter it or whatever, and it's going to a bright tank that goes to a canning line, it's going to be sort of not,
yeah,
it's not going to be cloudy.
It's got a nice head
murky.
on it. Look at that. It's keeping
wow.
a nice little, looks like a cartoon beer.
Wow.
My head didn't really. Dude, what's with this camera?
We're all struggling with autofocus today.
Not me. My camera has a product button on it. So you hit that.
Yeah, that's
no
right.
shit.
Whatever's in front of the off to the side.
What camera is that?
It's
Greg, I'm gonna buy one now.
it's the Sony ZV-1.
Oh wait, no. It's actually a really good camera. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
well, Jason, if you get the ZV-1 Mark I, I think it's down to $400 on Amazon. Because the ZV-1 Mark II is like $700 or $800. So
my brother in Christ, this camera is $100, and that was
you're
lot.
looking at the wrong one.
No, the one I'm using. I'm like, that's like a quadruple price jump. That's not.
Well, we can tell it's $100 camera because it.
Ligma balls. Who gives a fuck?
Present them.
Christmas is coming up, John. all right, Greg. Here's how we get banned from Twitch.
Just put some truck nuts hanging from the bottom of your shorts.
The last podcast stream got banned from Twitch because they were talking about the Baldo, and they showed fucking pictures from their website, and that got them shut down.
Yeah, the ZV-1F is $398 on Amazon right now.
It's too much.
Brand new.
It's too many.
No, that's a really good deal. It used to be $800, but the ZV Mark II. That's $900.
It's a tasty boy. Yeah. So I'm drinking an Everywhere beer. I was over there last night for a hot sauce festival, which was dope.
Oh,
I'm
really?
jealous
Like,
that you've got
I bought
everywhere
like
beer.
I spent like $70 on sauces.
Have you tried my hot sauce yet, Greg?
Oh my god. Yeah, I think so. It's been a while. Been a while.
Been a while.
The one I made
But
with
I got
red bell pepper and Carolina
oh,
Reapers.
I have not tried that.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it good?
not fermented. It's super, dude. It's super good. When I make it, I get about 6 bottles, and I just keep it. I think I
Does
gave
it
1 or 2 away, but
does it
super
melt your
good.
beehole?
It's not that hot. It's got 3 Carolina Reapers in like a gallon,
okay.
basically. It's just enough heat.
I learned
Tasty,
actually
tasty.
what the Scoville unit is, like how they calculate that. Do you
How's
guys
that?
know?
No.
Don't they like dilute it? And it's like
It's the
how-
number of dilutions until you can't taste heat anymore.
Oh, really?
So if it's like 3 million, it's like you dilute it to that
So
to the
it'd be like
300 millionth.
a drop of the juice
Yeah,
from in
exactly.
like a gallon of water. That would be
Yeah,
pretty much.
and there's some
Carolina
big
Reaper.
master computer that can calculate it. Super fascinating.
Yeah, Carolina Reapers, they're fucking hot. I think they're they used to be the hottest.
Yeah,
until
Pepper X is
recently.
the new hot boy.
Yeah, I mean now there's like an arms race of dudes that are just breeding more and more. And like what's crazy is the really hot peppers, you could just looking at them, they look like fucking all like
They look evil.
scraggled and tortured, and you're just like they look like they hate the world. And you're
Oh,
like,
man.
I'd be that spicy too.
Yeah,
I
look
went
at
to a hot sauce
jalapeno.
fest a while ago, and they had a Carolina Reaper eating contest,
Nope.
and some
Nope.
dude ate like 250 of them or some shit.
Nope.
And
That's dumb.
there was one guy on the side of the stage that ate like 2, and he's like, more, just horked everywhere. And it was
No,
like,
they're
dude
no.
next to him just kept going.
Carolina Reapers are peppers that
Fucking
look
crazy.
evil. They're not
Did-
scraggly, but they're very like shrunken and like.
But they have a
Yeah.
good flavor too. I like their
Yeah.
flavor. They're sort of really nice and fruity.
For me, I like Scotch bonnet is kind of my like
Mhm.
sweet spot. Like I really like the flavor of that pepper, and it's about as much heat as I can take. I still pay for it though. If I have a Scotch bonnet sauce, like it's a rough day the next day.
They're like, Jason, that'll be $4.50.
Yeah, that's right. So this stone beer has every hop in the world in it, including some hops that I think are just brands. They're not even like hops. They're just like Nugget, Super Galena, which I think is like a Japanese like costume monster fighting show. Simcoe, Delta, which the Delta, like nice airline.
Del
Target.
Taco.
I was at Target this morning actually.
Really, Target hops.
They have
in it?
Walmart hops.
The Target hop is one of the fucking hops.
Kohl's
Amar-
hops.
Amarillo, Cascade, Galaxy, Citra, Nelson Sauvin, Motueka, and Helga.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's got
No,
every
Idaho
hop,
7.
right?
Dude, it's like, you know how the Germans would make Märzen back in the day? They just threw whatever they had in the kettle and just they're like, that's all for the season, boys. We'll crack it in March.
Yeah, Stone's
Right.
like
It's sort of like
liquidating
what
their hops
Stone's
for the
doing. They're
year.
in the walk-in cooler. He's like, well, we got some Galena. We got some Target.
Target.
Hey, what the
like, of
fuck's
all the
a
hops.
Helga? This box says Target. Was this a misship? No, that's the kind of hops.
And I don't know why my Stone brewer voice is like an old man. Like, oh, it says here we got some. Oh, look at here, Jimmy. We've got some Galena. Oh, that's a fine hop, son. That's a fine hop.
When's the last time you thought of Greg Cook?
Shoot, it's been a while.
Just the other day, because somebody was talking about Stone being douchey, and they're like, "Didn't Greg Cook do this?" And it was actually something someone else did. And I was like,
I
"No, it
gotta give
wasn't
Greg
him."
credit. He kind of came up with vlogging before vlogging was a thing. He did it like he was doing it when we were in New Brew Thursday, and we thought he was weird because he'd hold an actual camera and talk to it like a vlogger, and he called it a vlog, and we're like, dude, okay, that was his.
All right.
thing,
I don't think
man.
he invented it. I'm
He
pretty
was
sure
one of the
people-
first to do it that I saw.
He was on the early wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. A requiem for the Stone that was like the Stone of today is not the Stone we grew up
How
with.
many gargoyles would you give that beer?
They don't
not-
even really have the gargoyle shit anymore. Like it's barely in their branding. Is there a gargoyle? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's right on the
There's
front
like
of
the
the
little
bottle.
guy, right? Yeah, okay, he's on there. Never mind. There's
He's the guardian of independence. Come on.
And I still think they're doing the thing where Arrogant Bastard is its own brand with a, like it's personified basically. It has its own social media and all this other shit.
God, remember when they
Yeah.
did that post that was like the bastard's gonna force you to suck his dick? I forget the exact wording of it, but it was basically that.
Yeah, that was not good.
Fucking Stone.
Uh,
Um, this isn't very good beer.
it's not.
I'm
I
just
agree.
gonna
okay,
go.
right?
It's boozy. It's got the alcohol heat is overwhelming the hops. There's no malt character, which is fine, but the hop character isn't
It's
really
very
strong enough to.
conflicted.
The hop character isn't strong enough to stand up on its own.
Yeah, it's
The
got
aroma is like vaguely hoppy, but there's not a lot of aroma on it. It's
it
fine,
comes off boozy on the aroma for me.
It's
and I
bougie.
think this is modern Stone, which we're like, I'm kind of over like ideologically being pissed at Stone, whatever. I just the beer is so mid anymore.
Well, if you smell the beer, would you say it's citrusy, piney, tropical? What's the
It's
overall vibe?
more
Lightly
piney, kind
piney.
of green for me than anything
Wow.
else.
Green
But
on
you have
like
to.
uncooked vegetables.
No, I mean like freshly cut grass kind of thing.
Like dank asparagus.
It's
Dankish.
not vegetal. It's sprucey a little bit, I guess, but not. But it just it's also muddled. I think the aroma and the flavor of the hops is just. I mean, there's 45 fucking hops in here. One of them's a shopping store.
I do get
And-
like
and
a
what's-
slight orange zest kind of thing on the nose too, but it's mostly like
What's
green.
crazy about that beer is it's sort of like they built in this enjoy by was this whole thing where they're like, we're gonna go from the brewery to the store. It's gonna be always fresh and delicious. And now
Well,
like
it was an
everybody does that.
educational thing, right? It was like
Right.
they made it prominent on the label because it's like, look, you need to drink beer as fresh as possible. So we're gonna do this thing where it's only on the shelves for 6 weeks, and once
I get it.
that date
But-
passes, the beer's supposed to be returned and not sold anymore. So
The
I think
thing
it had good intentions, and I still think it's a cool way to.
I think it
make
is too.
People more aware of an enjoy by date.
But like when Lagunitas did like Born On, or like El Segundo used to do the like day one dankness for a little bit, right? Like those beers tasted noticeably fresh, and this doesn't. It doesn't taste particularly like you're not getting that really bright aroma on it. The aroma is the big thing. Like it's just so mild. It like if it might
It's
as well
soupy,
just
right?
be. It might as well just be a 3-month-old delicious IPA as far as how the aroma is. Like
Wow. That's upsetting.
it's just fine. And
My-
like I went through a mixed 12-pack of Stone beer a couple months ago. I was like, I've been buying a lot more mixed IPA 12 packs because the bang for the buck is a lot better than buying
Don't
6
aren't they
packs.
doing like a Christmas IPA mix?
Yeah,
pack that's
they
12
are, but
different
it's just
IPAs?
none of them were in any way remarkable compared to like flagships from like big regional breweries. Like I'd rather have a hazy little than this.
Mm-hmm. It's a solid beer.
This is fine, but
Where I was going with that is, they throw that soup of hops in there and expect it to be remarkable, but essentially they're making it unremarkable at the same time. Like if they were to focus on, I don't know, like Mosaic and Citra and whatever, and just get like the best hops you could possibly get, and then release that as a fresh bomber or something like that, I'd be like, okay, I'll drink that. But none of those hops sound particularly like they make sense in a logical way. Like
I would love to hear from whoever made this recipe whether there was like a method to the madness of why they put what they put in it.
Have
or
we
if it
had
was
beers
really-
with Target hops in it before? I
I've
don't
never
know
heard
if
of
I
Target
have.
hops before today.
Like
Um,
it just seems.
now you can say you did.
I'm assuming that's a more old school hop that's been around for
Yeah.
a while, and
Oh,
makes me
it's-
wonder. Maybe
Oh,
they
it
just-
is actually. It's a classic English hop.
Yeah. Target and like Fuggles and EKG.
It is Challenger's cousin, which is also another hop.
Ooh,
Why
yeah.
is that hop in here? Like,
And
I mean, I'm not,
a parent
I
of
don't know
Northern
if it's a bad
Brewer.
hop or not, or if I like it, but it just
Northern
seems
Brewer.
like,
Wow.
ugh.
Yeah, you would
I'm not dissing
substitute
hops.
Target hops with Pearl, Northern Brewer, Pearl, or Challenger. It says.
So
What are we doing?
Unlike,
Like, come on.
unlike my beer, which is swallowing butterflies from everywhere, it's got it's a Pilsner malt base, so really dry and crisp, but with Simcoe, Mosaic, and Strata, And whenever I see Strata on a beer label, I'm like, I'll just buy that because I know I'm going to love it. And I do. It smells like cotton candy, and sort of like a little bit sweaty tropical fruits, and just bright and crisp and so delicious. I'm so happy I bought a 4-pack of this.
I mean, just looking at the photos of your beer, Greg, on Untapped makes me wish I had that instead of this.
Oh, it's so good,
Like-
so crisp.
And I don't really want to gang up on Stone. I mean, I think I've always
We
been
want
kind
to-
of neutral on them.
I want to
But
help them. Like,
this-
come on,
this-
man.
And the big thing is, I
Mm.
want them to be good, and it just feels like they're like they've fully become just we're a supermarket brewery and we want to make things that don't offend people, and
Yeah,
it's
but
hoppy
Pizza
enough.
Pizza Port's right next to it on the shelf, and I'm like, that's an easy like decision in my life.
Yeah,
But this
yeah,
beer,
it is.
I mean, could still be perceived as offensive to the average drinker because it is pretty bitter. I mean, I'll give them that. Like it's got a lot of IBUs packed in there. But
Yeah,
not
it's
in a
pretty
pleasant
old
way for
school
someone,
bitter.
Like I like IBUs. I like high IBU. I guess maybe I like high IBU beer. Like and when I say that, I'm thinking like old school high IBU beer. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what this comes off as. Like
It's-
this has
it's-
1,000 IBUs.
It's just
Oh.
bitter and boozy, and that's really the main characteristics of it.
It's bad and bougie.
It finishes dry, I would say, and like
It does
I
for
mean,
sure. Yeah,
It's well made, and it's not like sweet or any. I mean,
No,
it's
it just-
it's a good IPA. I just feel like they failed with the execution on it on the
Like,
hops.
is it memorable? Like, will you remember this beer?
I
don't
think the
remember- they don't
biggest thing
like
is
it. I mean,
I like Stone
no, it's
as a
not.
brewery, and maybe not. Maybe the Stone that we remember isn't the Stone of today, right? But I feel like they're capable of so much more, and they keep releasing things that are just so meh. Like they're fine, they're well made, they're professionally done, but the recipes are just boring, and there's nothing remarkable about them compared to anybody in San Diego or Southern California. Like I
North
used-
Park or
Yeah.
Fall.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Maybe
a shame.
that's just because of their scale. I mean, we always tend to reference Liberty Station as being the Stone place or Stone location to go to because it's a smaller brew house. They got more experimental stuff going on there, and it's just generally better beer. And I wonder if like the stuff that we get mass market is just not as good as it can be because it has to be mass market.
But you know
the
what?
system is-
Firestone, if I get their mixed 12-pack, they're all good beers.
That's true. Yeah, they're
And
pretty big,
they're
too.
all like they're all a full letter grade better than the stuff
Yeah.
I get from Stone, you know?
It's a good point.
And it's just like it can be done. Like Sierra's its own thing. They have their own profile that I don't. It's not. It's a sometimes beer for me. I just
I'm the same
to
way.
be-
Like you got to be in the mood for a Sierra Nevada, like a
Yeah,
pale ale
yeah.
or even Celebration that just came out. Like, and by the way,
nostalgia
did
kicks in.
did that beer come off very barley wine to you guys this year?
Yeah. It always
Yeah.
kind of has been. It just I really think
It's a little
just,
bit palate shock.
the longer that beer lives on, the weirder of an anachronism it is, because it's just a very old school beer.
Well, it's usually a beer I buy multiple 6-packs of, and this year I bought one, and I'm like, I think I'm good. Like,
Yeah,
it's
my
just-
beer Discord was popping off about it, and I bought I had a 12-pack of it, and I was like, I got through it, and I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't need more celebration this season. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I
a
bought
lot.
I bought 2 6-packs for Thanksgiving, and Jason came over, and Jason and Sarah and Aiden for Thanksgiving, and after it was gone, I'm the same thing. I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna buy anymore. I'm good.
Yeah, like that's good. I'm
Good.
good. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's good beer, but it's like it's kind of it's old school in a challenging way. It's a lot of caramel
Yeah.
malt, a lot of bitter.
Sure, but
Um,
I think this year it's different somehow. I don't know why, because like I said, it came off more barley wine style to me, where the hops were like it was bitter, but it was definitely more malt forward, and like hops were kind of in the background. Where usually, I mean, and it's not like it's a super hoppy beer anyway, but it came off different this year, and it kind of turned me off. And I'm
They've
not
been making
talking
that
shit
beer
on the
for what,
beer. Like I'll buy that
20,
beer every
30
year
years?
it comes out, but this year it just kind of was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Going back to mine, some everywhere news. Neil, the brewer from 8-Bit, is now a brewer at Everywhere.
Oh, really?
And I was like, "What the hell are you doing here, bud?" And he's like, "I work here now." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
I remember. Doesn't his wife work there as well?
At the brewery,
She does. Oh, she works the brewery. That's right. She does marketing, I think, at the brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And
Okay.
another piece of news
Man,
is
that
that
sucks.
they're.
I don't want him to go to everywhere.
I know. I was
he
like, "So
makes
how's the beer
really
going to be?"
good
He's
beer.
like, he said the beer's going to be just the same. It's the original brewer coming back, so
Oh,
he
okay.
said they're in good hands. I said, "Okay." And then Everywhere is going to be opening up a tap room in Long Beach, so people up in LA won't have to drive so far. So
is it going to be
little
near
news
any
tidbits.
near
Long
any
Beach
other-
has really become a great
Yeah, around
beer
4th
city.
Street. Around 4th
So,
Street, I
like near
assume around
Beechwood
Ism and
or
stuff.
something?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a
Okay.
gap, like you have to Uber your way from kind of the clusters in Long Beach, but man, it's become such
Yeah.
a good beer city.
Yeah,
We were
Bixby
out
Hills is
there-
cool.
We were out there
For
last
me, man,
year, and it was really fun.
getting
Let's
to Long
go.
Beach is just such a pain in the ass because it's like it's like you got to go to Orange County and then you got to keep going.
Yeah, totally.
And you got to drive to the ocean. Like
It's like easier to get to LA than Long Beach.
Yeah,
It
Long
is
Beach is a
almost.
bitch to get to. It is. But you know what? Go to the aquarium or something. It's really
yeah,
nice.
you'd have to make an event out of it, like a weekend. Of
The
it,
aquarium is
so,
great.
Yeah, I wish these Orange County breweries would try to somehow figure out how to make opening up a tasting room in the IE work. Because not that I'm desperate, but I mean, I could use more OC beer out here.
Greg's giving up smoke.
I know. I'm gonna rip this joint, you guys.
Which is the name
a
of the
call.
beer.
Yeah, it's the name of the beer.
A side
Yeah,
project
it's a
collab.
side project collab. It's
That's
a
pretty
Russian
cool.
Imperial Stout, and it comes in at like 100 milligrams of weed. I don't know.
13.9%.
It's 13.9. Woo!
I mean, shit. That's the 100 milligrams of weed equivalent of a beer.
Right? Yeah.
It says it was aged in Henry McKenna bourbon
McKenna, yeah,
barrels.
dude.
I've never heard of McKenna.
McKenna, yeah, it's got that like green label. It's from what I remember, it's sort of like vanilla ice cream with some chocolate on top. Like that's I always equate my bourbons with like ice cream because of the vanilla component of the barrels.
Okay.
Just a really good, easy drinking.
So
Bourbon.
sign of the times is that St. Bernardus Christmas ale in a can.
Oh baby.
This is probably going to taste like what I expected that Derunk beer to
That's
taste
what I
like.
was just thinking.
Is that one like that? Is that one's got to be over 9%, right?
It's 9.8.
Okay. That's what I was thinking of.
They don't
Like
give
St.
you any
Bernardus comes
details on
hard.
that. They just got a reindeer on it, and so
They're like, our monks like to get drunk.
drunk as a monk.
St. Bernardus is basically the I'm not going to say clone, but they were like the brewery that made oh god, what's the brewery? I'm thinking of?
West Veteran for the longest time, yeah.
Yeah, the masses kind of thing. Like it's always been like, well, this is technically West Veteran, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's the
this is the Belgium I expected. It's like
recipe.
super estery. It's got a lot of like spice on it. It's got like a little bit of like a chocolatey note. It's actually it works though, but like a big Belgian like this is a beer that you can only have every so often. It's not one you can drink all the time.
I mean,
Yeah,
when the family's in
10%.
town, you bust on your Pizza Hut hat, and then you
There you go.
You share a can with like two people.
I wear this exact outfit when my when my family's in town.
Yeah, what's up with the Pizza Hut hat? Is that? I mean,
It's just a fun hat. It looks like the old Pizza Hut, the
Like the
lamps they
building?
used to have.
oh, it does.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
yeah, over like
Yeah, no.
The checkerboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the what do you
If
call it?
you're-
Leaded glass.
Yeah, if you remember Pizza
Lamps.
Hut in the 80s, they had these like stained glass lamps that were
Oh, I
like.
remember.
Hold on, I got now. Now we have to explain.
Whoa,
to the-
baby.
for the youngins.
There it is.
There you go. So when you used to be able to like go to Pizza Hut and eat there, you get that. And somebody did a hat. It's a reversible hat. So this picture, which looks like an ad for the hat, that's the other side of the hat.
No way.
Oh.
I'm gonna buy that for my friend Jeff. his dad owned a bunch of Pizza Huts in Rialto.
Oh, that's rad. Yeah, there's nowhere really to go and eat pizza anymore, right? I mean, you got Pizza Port, but if you're taking like big chains, Shakey's, I guess. Do you guys have those around here?
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
Living down the street from Disneyland, there's the Shakey's right down the street.
Our union reps, when they come out, like they usually come out to the IE every week. They tend to meet up at Shakey's. Which
That
I don't
lunch
go
buffet
to.
is a lot of food for the money. Those Mojo potatoes are really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Pizza Hut.
You can buy those in the frozen section.
Oh wow!
Jason and I went to the same high school in Fontana, and I got hooked on Pizza Hut pizza because they had these little carts that would like have fast food, and the pizza they had was Pizza Hut pizza, and it's so fucking good. Like I still think about.
Yeah,
Pizza Hut
they
pizza.
had
It's
like
so
it
good.
was like frozen to serve Pizza Hut personal pizzas and like Taco Bell burritos and shit.
Were they personal? Because when I was there, it was like slices, like actual slices of regular sized pizza.
I never actually ate them. I was a weird eater
Okay.
in high school. I didn't actually eat food till I was like 25.
I never ate food from the actual cafeteria at school.
I don't.
Just-
Yeah, I never. That was where nerds hung out.
Yeah.
It was like, and I was a nerd, but I was like not a cafeteria nerd. Like
Right.
the people that hung out in the cafeteria were like weird, and we
Yeah,
all
I
would all
remember
sit
eating-
in the rain, out in the like standing out there in the bad weather, in the wind and the rain, and we're like, at least we're not in the cafeteria.
Yeah, you could
eating-
stand in like because it was basically like an open campus kind of thing, but the buildings had these outdoor hallways with covering. You could stand under one of those. But
I did
yeah,
find
ate in
out
that
on
cafeteria
Thanksgiving
maybe
that
once.
I did find out on Thanksgiving that your brother is the same age as my brother, so they were in the same schools and grades for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's like, you're Jeremy's brother, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. We went to same. They went to Alder and all that shit.
Yep,
My parents met at Fontana High School. Isn't that funny?
That's nice.
And then they worked at the steel plant.
See, Greg's
Oh, no
actually IE. Behind the.
I grew up
OC
in
facade.
Rialto. I
That's why
moved
he
out on my
doesn't-
18th birthday. I never went back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice theater there now.
There was down the street from my house, there was a theater that was 50 cents, and past a certain time, they would show X-rated movies.
Cool.
No shit.
It's right up Greg's alley.
Yeah,
My final.
That's where
beer
Greg
is,
first saw Behind the Green Door.
that's right. Yeah.
My final beer is another Firestone beer. This is Parabolita.
Oh, I haven't tried that one yet.
Ooh, it's a good
I'm
one.
giving up on focusing on this camera. I'm going to buy your camera, Greg. The first time we had this beer, I think we were at the Firestone Walker Invitational pre-COVID. I
Okay.
think that was the last one I got invited to as media.
Yeah.
And that's the last time I had this beer. So now it comes in a can, and really nice looking can too.
I love it. What's the ABV?
9.2.
Okay.
But this is their salted caramel Parabolita.
Oh,
And it's bourbon barrel aged stout with vanilla beans, cocoa nibs, and sea salt. And the
No,
sea salt, just hearing sea salt makes it sound so much better. Like, oh,
Yeah,
want
it
more
just adds
a little-
salinity.
it's the
Have
chef's
you-
kiss.
Is that an old can or is that one you just bought?
I just bought it.
Yeah, that I had that one last year. I would be shocked if you didn't love it. It was so fucking good.
I was gonna open
Um,
it at Thanksgiving, but I forgot that I had it. So, yeah, this smells
Nice.
great. Like just super. It smells like just like smooth milk chocolate, if that makes sense. Like,
I'd like the record of the show that when I went to John's Thanksgiving, I waited until late in the evening to draw Goatsy for his whole family.
What are you playing, like Pictionary?
We were playing Jackbox games. So
Okay.
I almost bought a shirt with.
Did you put the
his
ring?
drawing on it.
of course, I always do the ring, dude. Always.
What
Maybe
was
he got
the-
divorced.
I think
Who
I
knows?
put "Join the Revolution" on it. Like that. was
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
Dude, rip this joint,
That
man.
was fun.
Rip this joint. It's again, it's not gonna suck. You know that opening it. It tastes like candied walnuts that have been like that Cracker Jack peanuts, how there's like sort of caramelized sugar. It's got that like caramelized sugar, but with like roasted almonds. It's really just it's a banger beer. Oh dear God.
That's the shirt. Yeah.
Wow.
Is the ring on there, Jason? I don't know if there's a ring.
Yeah, I
it
see it.
There. There's the
It's
ring.
orange.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
orange.
There it is. Yeah.
Who's Jeff K?
That was me.
Oh, that's
Because my Yvonne,
So
my
elite.
wife, like she got this into her head that we had to be anonymous on Jackbox, so we couldn't
Oh
use our
yeah,
real names.
she was really pushing the issue. She's like, no, nobody use your real name. And like people would use, it's like, no, I know who you are. You have to use a fake name. So
I think someone used not John as their name.
That was me again.
But my dad just kept putting dad.
Because John's dad is also John. So
Yeah.
I made a bunch of John themed names, like Not John or Four Non Johns, I think was my favorite one.
4 non-Johns, 4 non-blondes. Yeah, I think going back to your beer, John, like if you're gonna put the word parabola on it, it's got to be top tier, man. Like,
Of course.
It's got to live
That's
up to
like
being
Parabola-
one of
the
the
best
beers
barrel-aged
that
stout.
Firestone Walker is best known for behind, like their
805.
yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Technically it's 805, yeah. I'm amazed by their brilliant marketing with that, where they throw a sticker in the box, because every fucking construction guy puts that sticker, and it's a giant
Fuck yeah.
sticker. They put it on their fucking hard hat.
805, baby.
It's great.
Yeah, no, like they won over the blue collar guy that wants a beer that's better than Bud Light. Like
did.
805 is 100% that beer, and like they're the only company that made a fucking blonde ale work. Like,
Yeah.
they were just like, what if
They
we
put a
gave
blonde ale in a black can, like it
in a
makes it look
cool looking black can, and
Yeah.
then in the Central Valley they just have it built in. Everybody who's got an 805 phone number is like, fuck yeah, this is my beer.
Yeah.
Or the Central Coast, sorry, not the Valley.
Good shit, man.
805 is a cool area code too. Like it's, I don't know, 909 is pretty cool too.
909?
I don't like 951 that much. It's kind of
Whack.
a sub
like 'cause it's-
brand of 909.
I like 951 because it's diagonal on your pad.
Oh, that's true.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's kind of neat.
but
Dude,
yeah.
I had a phone number that was, I read a phone number that was like letters, and it's like, oh, call 1-800, call whatever. And I was
Shit.
like,
Jack.
fuck, how do you, okay.
It's on your phone.
It is, but I'm so not used to it. I just had to like realign my brain. I'm like, 5, I was like, God, just show me the numbers.
Yvonne's password on her iPhone is a numeric password, but she uses it's actually a couple words. You know what I mean? So when you type it,
Oh.
I don't know the numbers of her password, but I know
boobless.
how to enter her password because I know the name of it. So
It's
It's-
boobless
you can
from a calculator.
oh yeah,
800
so definitely not boobless.
73 something 55.
7355. Yes,
Yeah.
PP51 doo-doo.
my Wi-Fi password.
I made that the password for my hotspot on my phone, and I think it still is. If I ever turn on the hotspot on my phone, the password is PP51 doo-doo. I got one last beer,
Okay,
Go for it.
I'm done.
and it is the Spruce Campbell Double IPA, which is why I bought it, because I like
Spruce Campbell, baby. Oh,
I like
that's
Bruce
so good.
Campbell, and also if it's got spruce tips, I fucking love spruce tips. and shit.
Same. What is it about
Typically-
spruce tips?
It's decked
They're
with hops.
so piney. I see you got like the little elf with the chainsaw, like he's fucking Ash from Evil Dead. This is from a brewery I don't normally get. I think it's Duckfoot. Yeah, it's Duckfoot.
Yeah, it's Duckfoot.
Yeah, they're the
They're San Diego.
yeah, they're the like gluten reduced.
It's a Citra hops with hold on, it says
Target.
citrusy Citra hops keep spirits bright, while Chinook hops bring fa-la-la floral notes. Then rosemary brings a little holiday spice to the party. Too many
Rosemary.
ingredients to remember from the Hopronomicon. Just remember, this is the perfect, refreshing SoCal Holiday Double IPA.
The
Groovy.
rosemary kind of.
Yeah, that actually
that's
gave
That's a
that
party.
gave me pause. I didn't see that shit when I bought it.
That's a party crasher.
Oh, it
River
is.
edition.
All right, I fucked that one up because it's on the next to spruce tips. It says rosemary. I didn't really do my.
spruce
research.
tips and rosemary. Man, that's a lot.
Did you
It's,
buy that beer at S Mart?
I bought it at Total Wine, and it doesn't have
That's
a
a joke.
date, but it.
Great.
Oh, yeah, I just got it. God damn it! I should have caught that. It doesn't have a date, but it does. It is a 2023 holiday ale. So how old could it be? It's December 2023. So this has got to
Yeah,
be
it's
recent.
not like they
Probably
brewed
a
it
few
last
weeks.
January.
Yeah.
So
They're not a big brewery.
There's not really any aroma on it at all, which is sad.
even with the rosemary and spruce.
You'd think, right?
Wow.
Oh, there's the rosemary and spruce. Whew.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, it kind of works.
Really?
The
I would hope
rosemary.
so.
I've never had rosemary in beer before, but it kind of works. It's very herbal I mean, again, in a like holiday herbs, like you're cooking, like, I mean, again, you're cooking a fucking Thanksgiving turkey or something, right?
Cooking a Pizza Hut pizza.
You put rosemary on your Pizza Hut pizza?
Fuck yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. No, it's a weird beer. It's a weird hoppy beer, but it actually is kind of good, you guys.
I tend to shy away from anything with spruce in it because spruce is just so it's so piney. Like it's just over the top for me. I think it was a rosemary IPA. Matt Becker, formerly of Four Brewers, when he was the brewer at Packing House, he had like a homebrew competition there, and it called the Iron Brewer. So basically, you brought all your homebrew equipment to the brewery.
Oh, yeah.
Any hops you wanted, any malts or whatever, and he would present a secret ingredient. I believe the ingredient was rosemary, and I think
See,
I said
that
I
could
made a
work.
rosemary
I could
IPA.
see in like a
rosemary
saison. That would be
saison.
rad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
made a
saison all day.
and it was with John Ridey and Herbie Homebrew, who works at what's the LA brewery he works at? Damn it, I can't remember. But back in the day, he used to live in the IE. He's a Riverside boy. And then
He was
the competition.
He was
I
at
got
a
second-
brewery that shall not be named for a while in the IE, and then he moved out to. He was at that Burbank one for a while, but then he moved on from there, and he's somewhere in the valley now. I forget where it is.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, the brewery that he used to work at in the IE is now closed for good reason. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
The beer that won though was a rosemary IPA, which I thought was good, but it didn't make sense to me. And I'm almost sure it was rosemary. I could be speaking out of turn here. But the guy that won the competition is now the head brewer at Packing House, and he makes really good beer because Matt taught him how to brew the right way. So yeah, they're still around. I think they're on their 13th anniversary. They're just doing their thing, staying small. I think they're employee owned now. Like 5 of the employees bought out the owners, and I think Scott's one of the owners, the brewer that won the competition, and Showtime. He's one of I believe he's one of the owners.
Did they build a satellite tasting room?
They were talking about doing something downtown, like by the Mission Inn.
Route 30 or whatever the fuck built down there,
Route
right?
30 is downtown.
They have a spot downtown in Riverside.
Stone Church. I don't recommend Stone Church, but for political reasons and ethical reasons. But they have.
I was just looking at. I sent that link to our chat of breweries that have closed, and one of them that was listed was Stone Church. So,
well,
is that still there?
I'm almost positive they're still there because I have the building that they're in. It's the California Tower, and they're right there. So I'm almost positive they're there. When I say I have the building, it's on my route for work. So
I'm sure, like, I hate to like shit on our scene in the IE because, like, I'm sure people from the IE might hear the show, or whatever. But like, the beer here is just overall. I wish it was better.
I mean, since moving down to near Temecula, I mean,
yeah, you got a big upgrade.
A favor for beer, because
you got a lot more beer options down there than I do.
And you're really close to Escondido too, so it's like,
yeah. And even if I like going to Oceanside, it's an hour away ish. It's not that bad without traffic. It's
an hour.
I'd make a weekend.
I could get there in an hour and a half.
You probably could, yeah. But just the way I got to get there compared to what you get in there, it's basically the same amount of time. So,
but I'm shocked
compared
to
when I lived in Moville.
I'm shocked at how well this like very herbaceous IPA works. It like the rosemary is a big character in it, and with the hoppy flavor, it really does work. It is herbal and it is rosemary. You're getting that big herbaceous flavor, but I mean, hops kind of are that, right? And it's doing a lot of what hops would do, and it's complementing the hops really well. And like, dude, Duckfoot, I think made a
Duckfoot's solid, dude.
They made a winner with this one, man. This is a fucking good beer.
Yeah, I was down at one of the San Diego Guild Fests a few years ago before COVID, and beer writer and friend Ian, he's like, yeah, let's go to a brewery, and we took me to Duckfoot, and they have good food. It's all like gluten reduced, organic. So I don't know, it was a cool vibe, nice people. But
I've
wanted to finish up.
Only had a couple beers from Duckfoot, and they've been pretty solid. But that's a beer, Jason, I would not buy. Just looking at the can and what was in it. So if I see it, maybe I'll give it a shot. Because I mean, coming from you, recommended means a lot. So
No,
I had another beer in my box. I'm not going to crack today, but it's called Between 2 Grams. It's an imperial stout with graham cracker, chocolate, and vanilla and cinnamon.
So again, these beers
for
were
another
part
day.
of their Brewers Reserve, which is kind of like their beer club, right?
So yeah, I was going to talk about it real quick because I think it's actually worth it. They used to be like $600, but it's dropped down to $399 now, and you get 4 quarterly releases, and
So
it's still open for
beers
next
total?
year. Yeah, I'm trying to find that out. So 21 small batch barrel aged beers, welcome
21.
kit.
Are you guys at all? Are any of you guys a member of any sort of brewing society? The
Highland
last
Park.
one I was in was Highland Park, but the thing is, Highland Park, I love their hoppy beers, and their reserve society is all for their barrel aged shit. And so
Yeah.
it's like, well, you don't get any benefit getting their fresh beers in their society. So it's like, and I don't really love barrel aged stouts. You know, it's not my favorite style.
I still have last year's sitting next to me right here. I was going to open one for the show today, but I didn't. But for me, I support. I'm in their program just because I'm a fan, and like I get the bare minimum. I don't ever buy extras, and at the end of the year, I get the email that says, "Hey, you know, the year's almost up. Do you want anything else?" And I'm just like, "Nah, ship the beers." And that's whatever I get with the club is what I get. Wherewith when I was a Reserve Society member, I was just
bought all the things.
I was
hoarder,
buying
baby.
cases of beer. It was.
Did I tell you guys when I went to that Run the Jewel show? They I had talked to or I think you and I, John, had talked to one of the guys from Highland Park at
Firkenstein,
and he was like, yeah, they bought 100 cases of the IPA for the shows. And yeah, like all the beers that they were serving at that show were Run the Jewels collab beers from different breweries around the country.
So cool, dude.
They had like Goose Island Run the Jewels collab. They had the Highland Park one. They had like a Paloma, a canned Paloma that was from some brewery in like Brooklyn. That was fucking dope, by the way. I was like, holy.
Is that Neza? Is that his name? Neza?
Yeah, it's
Neza. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a bartender at Hermosillo back when they were there, and then he moved with them into Chinatown. And I'm not sure what his role is. I know he's
a sales guy,
but he's cool fucking dude.
Dude,
shout out to him.
Yeah, I agree. Well, fellas, overall, I think pretty good show. Very Firestone heavy, but I think that's a good thing, especially for this time of year. And
it's swinging a home run every time.
Yeah. So
yeah, they don't miss. Firestone, like I rarely have a beer from Firestone that I regret having. But
that's a good spot to stop right there.
But yeah. So I'm gonna bring these. I'm going to a party after
Blew
this.
The shit out of it.
I'm just bringing these beers with me. Opened.
Cool. Hey guys, who wants some beers?
I already started.
I drank a little bit, but you can have the rest.
Backwash.
Save.
All right, so we can stop recording.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Greg, I'm gonna buy that camera. Man, everything I want this year is like
it's good, dude.
$700.
The only thing I don't like about it is there's no viewfinder. But
how do we do our show again? Should I export it as a wave?
Yeah.
4B 1223.
Yeah, my A7C has
Saving
a
it first.
viewfinder, but I rarely use it.
Yeah,
And
I like a
I really,
viewfinder.
I don't know, man. Like
This is
I
primarily
often,
just for vlogging and like for when we go on vacation and stuff like that. I want a small camera, and I bought
yeah.
a bag. Um, I bought a chest bag, a
Oh, okay,
Tom
yeah.
something, and
Tom Lee.
the entire thing, even the handle, which has the controls on it, fits in here perfectly.
Mm.
So I'm just like pop it in there, keep my passport and on my wallet in the back, and it's gonna be rad.
Yeah, I have a sling that I bought from. I don't have it around. I forgot the brand, but I can fit my Steam Deck, my iPad Mini with the pencil, some sanitizer, and a bag of like random electronic shit in it, and it fits
Turn off my.
perfectly. It's great.
Is that the Sony cam that what you're fucking holding?
No, that
No,
was
this is the. Let me turn off my auto frame.
the thing he was holding up is the.
Oh, here
It's
we
like
go.
a tripod with controls built in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it's Bluetooth to the camera, and also you can link it to your phone and stream live from your camera. That's fucking rad. So yeah, that works really good.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell with these focusing issues, because I'm using a teleprompter, so maybe that's interfering with the autofocus.
Export.
It shouldn't. Yes,
Export. All right, I'm exporting.
Maybe it's the light.
Right. Yeah, it was rad everywhere last night. What's cool about having that many different owners is if you're talking with one, they're like, "Oh, you're hanging out for a bit. I'll let me pour you a beer," and then I'm getting a beer for on the house, and then I'm talking to Ryan, and I've drank that earlier beer. He's like, "Hey man, can I get you a beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then he's talking to Daniel. He's like, "Are you good? You want me to get you another?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll take another beer." End of the night, I bought one beer.
I've got to
So
change.
great.
I don't know if it's worth it doing for Stone. I got to change my addresses. All these beer breweries. I don't know if Pariah is still sending beers since they moved to. I think they moved to the East Coast.
Well,
We should have
did he-
Dan on again. Brewer Dan
What's his
from San Diego.
Tap
Room
house?
beer.
Tap
Tap room beer.
Okay.
Yeah, they just won a shitload at GABF. They're making some good beers.
How was Della Hunt when you went down there?
Oh, that was fire, dude. Yeah, Chris Lynn. They're making some good stuff. He was
formerly
originally
of
at
Laguna Beach Brewing.
Laguna Beach, and before that, Beechwood Brewing
Yeah.
with Ian. Yeah, I like their hazy quite a bit, which says a lot.
Speaking of Ian, is his brewery ISM or ISM?
Ism.
ISM? Okay, so it's ISM.
It's like a
I
Tool
saw
song.
DFD. I saw a selfie with the
Of
ISM
course, yeah.
people, and that's.
Did
how
you read? I
found it.
actually flipped through the latest Beer Paper LA, and the last page is like, "This might be the last issue."
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to take a hiatus and reevaluate.
Huh.
I was like,
sad to see him go.
I just
Yeah.
What are you laughing
Sean.
about?
well, it was a good issue too, and I was like, "Dang man, way to end it though."
Was I think the lead story on the front page, was that Tom Carroll that wrote it, or is this
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else?
The whole issue is like about German inspired stuff.
John, I sent you
cool.
that picture of, I think Artifacts did a Beer Paper LA beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I said that I'm surprised the label wasn't a selfie of.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know. I was looking
Yeah.
for him. Like, can you spin that around for me? So good.
Dude,
I've been in spats with Daniel, and I have no ill will towards the guy.
He's a nice dude.
I'll just say that
he's
a
always
nice
been very
guy.
nice to me. I feel like after you guys had a feud, he was a little bit weird around me because, I mean, obvious expected reasons, I guess.
I never had a feud with him.
Well, John had a feud with him.
Yeah, yeah. I back up John.
Thank you, Craig.
So I
What you gonna do about it?
Somebody created a map of breweries that have closed in the last.
Yeah,
5
bust that
years.
out. Let's talk about that real quick. Bonus content.
This is bonus show for fucking people.
Patreon only.
And it was kind of interesting to look at because almost nothing of value was lost, in my opinion.
No.
Um,
If anything, like my hot take is like every place that closed in Orange County opened up with a place that was 10 times better.
With one exception, I would say is Taps, which whatever the fuck happened there, that
Yeah,
sucks.
that was weird, right?
Because they were a good restaurant and a good brewery, and
Greg,
whatever.
Oh yeah,
Not to
just ran into the ground.
diverge from what you're saying, Jason, but what happened with that whole situation?
So when you take on bad investors and you're kind of I don't know what was wrong with Joe Manzella, the owner. He's always been this super interesting dude with a lot of opinions, real fast talker, and I think he got royally screwed and just had to close down because he didn't have money anymore.
So they're just closed now.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't
straight up.
exist.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all gone.
There does
I saw
not
the-
exist.
The drama that that what was like, I don't know, 3 weeks of
Yeah,
drama
he
on
was trying to
Instagram.
blame it on the one guy, and then I talked to Grant Tondro, who was a business partner as well, and he's like, "That all that's fucking lies, dude." I was like, "Well, at least I trust Grant, and so I'll take him at his word that it's just a gray situation that it would take you a lot of time to unwrap and sort of figure out what actually happened." But
So-
it seemed like somebody stole money.
I was clicking around on this map this morning, and I was surprised at how many breweries in San Diego closed. And clicking
Lots,
through
yeah.
them, I didn't know who any of them were. Like almost all of them, I'm like, who? Like Mickler was a notable one. And then it's like, okay, Rock Bottom, that was like a chain, more like a BJ's than a brewery that went under.
Reckless,
But then-
I don't remember.
I think they were originally called Wet and Reckless, by the way.
That's true.
So I had heard of them, but they were not good. Kings and Convicts, which they were the people that bought Ballast Point.
They still
They
do.
closed?
I mean,
They open up their own tap room.
open 22, close 23. That's just some like administrative shit, really, at that point. They're just like, oh yeah, we own Ballast Point now. We don't need that. Two Kids Brewing, like who are any of these fucking people?
Who are you?
Intergalactic, I remember hearing of them, but I never had anything notable. Some of the Ballast Point locations that closed are on here. It's Council, and
Oh yeah, remember we went
and
there?
Toolbox are on there, and they were both
That was rough.
terrible. They were like complete
People
hype
loved them though.
breweries. Yeah, because at the time with the craft beer trading scene, sours were hot, and there was no Southern California sours. And so these guys came out making sour beer, and they would hype it up. They're like, yeah, this is great, and I should
It's
trade it for
so
all the
gross.
great. And they were all garbage. So they deserve to go under. No offense
Hey,
to people that
100%.
work there. I'm sure they tried hard, but
Yeah, that was bad. I remember sending back pints. I was like, I can't drink this. Sorry.
Helms, I went there once. They were fine.
Never been to
Circle
Helms.
9.
Never heard of Circle 9.
I mean, again, Rock Bottom.
I think
That's
Rock
just,
Bottom is still
victim of the
a thing,
90s.
right?
Benchmark.
They've
Back in the
Prodigy?
Midwest. Never heard. Normal
Um,
Heights.
Kensington Brewing Company.
Never heard of it.
Pariah. I mean, they were friends of the show, and
Well,
it's a
okay,
bummer
so
that they
I think they moved,
back
right?
east, right? Yeah,
they moved,
or
and
they
they're
had
still
another
very
facility.
successful, as far as I
Yeah.
know. So technically they did close, but they make great beer still. So
Home Brewing Company. Talk about SEO poison.
I mean, there's one in Anaheim called The Beer Company.
Yeah, Good Beer Company is one of the ones on the list that closed. Actually,
is Craft Brewing Company still open in well, I think they're
Yeah, I
Lake
see a
Elsinore?
billboard. They
Really?
have a billboard.
they're
Wow.
not on here because the Temecula ones actually. So let's get closer to home.
Okay.
So, we go to Fallbrook, had a brewery apparently. Whatever. Iron Fire. That's a bummer. They were actually pretty good.
no,
right,
they're
they
still
were
open.
solid.
That's just a satellite location that closed. They're still open.
Okay, good to know. Refuge.
That was
They-
sad.
They basically
that
pivoted
sucks.
to being like making
Seltzer.
Well, they make
Homebrew equipment. Yeah.
and pro brewing equipment, right?
SS
Oh, okay.
Brewtech, that
Yeah.
came about because of iron.
Wow.
Because of Refuge.
Weens, they were fine, but nah.
They made good beer, but
This one, that's where I said Stone Church, but did they just move?
Where's that location at? That's off
South
15.
Corona.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
SoCo.
I don't know, because that was their brewery. I'm not sure the location.
And it says
Riverside.
2023 because bankruptcy. So that's Taps. Sorry.
Taps.
Wix.
Yeah,
Oof.
My article is going to be like,
Who's
bust
here?
out the trumpet.
All four people that are here. Wix closed because Brian Wix got his third DUI and killed a guy and is on trial for murder now. So that's why they're closed.
No, I think it was, I think it was his second DUI, because he got one, and they say, okay, if you get another DUI, you can be charged with.
It was third.
It was third?
Sons of
I'm almost
Liberty
certain. Yeah.
moved to Tennessee or something.
They
fuck
did,
them.
and then they rebranded again because they went with like a big freedom branding in Nashville,
Yeah.
and even then they're failing. And now they're just like, now we're just like Joe's regular brewery. They're like trying to get away from being a chud brewery. Even in Nashville, they're like, oh yeah, it turns out being a chud, it doesn't work even in fucking Nashville.
Freedom.
Inland Empire
Turns out.
Brewing Company.
Oh.
I think, is someone still brewing out of there, or is that whole place gone?
Oh God, who was it? It was some weird.
Was it the Brew Rebellion people or something?
Yeah,
Which
that's
also
who it was.
appear Brew Rebellion closed, which good. Fuck them.
Thank
These
God.
guys suck dick.
Yeah,
And they were
Paul,
assholes too. Like the guy from Brew Rebellion sexually harassed my friend's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, one of the
All right,
original owners
go to Orange
of
County.
Inland Empire Brewing Company, he ended up moving to Oregon, and I think he sold off whatever was left of the brewery to the Brew Rebellion guys. And Paul was a good
Backstreet.
dude.
All right.
Backstreet.
Let's talk OC. That's where our base is. I mean, again, for all four people on this fucking stream. But Backstreet, what happened? Is there anything else there? Or it's your Belinda. That's a satellite.
So yeah, there's some other brewery that took it over that are even worse.
Dueling Ducks.
Dueling Ducks is now Pfeiffer's, which is where our friend Jeff from the brewery is now the GM, and
Didn't they
Tyler
just
King.
launch
Tyler
their,
King's making the beer. Yeah, I have a can right
their
here.
brand.
Here's their Pfeiffer's Famous.
And that's
It's
just
like they're going after
a
Pabst.
lager.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a clean
interesting.
lager.
Cool.
It's good. And Tyler King is their sort of advisor, and they have a dude from
I
a
saw
cloud
that.
that's making the beer.
I was like, wow.
So it's so weird walking into a brewery and like there's Tyler King walking around in his flip flops, like.
Paparazzi. It's so funny. Like
Oh man,
they were never good.
no,
Like
no,
the
no.
guy made like
that was like
share,
Toolbox of Orange County.
the guy made a bottle share hero beer.
Go ahead. Sorry, Jason.
The guy made bottle share hero beers that like got hype on the beer nerd scene.
Yeah,
Mission Impeccable.
Mission
Yeah.
Impeccable.
I think that's
And
what it was.
their beer was
Now he's
never
working
good.
for Dr. Bill, right?
Yeah. He works at Wild Barrel now.
Dr.
He's
Bill,
their
Wild
brewer.
Bear.
New Agorist Beer Company opened 2018, closed 2019. Okay.
The thing,
Didn't-
okay,
enough
so
said.
going back to Paparazzi, because I don't want to throw shade on their brewer.
Yeah,
They
Bill.
took like 2 years
Sobieski.
to open, and
Yeah.
Bill Sobieski. When they finally opened, like I think he left.
He
pretty
left.
quickly.
He left
after
it
they
midway through the project.
It was like
Okay.
a husband-wife thing, and then I
Right.
think
Yeah,
they had
Lisa
like
Perret.
relationship problems, and yeah.
Something like that.
So
And
his
then
wife
they both
tried to
got
keep
screwed.
it open, and I have nothing against her, but the beers were just not.
Bad. Yeah.
They weren't good.
It was like literally they're next to Bottle Logic, and it's like if you're at Bottle Logic, don't bother. And
yeah,
that's
the
bad.
people who took over that spot are just as bad. So
Ugh.
Yeah. What about the brewery that's next to them, Greg?
What's Legends Craft Brewery?
Legends was this dude, real nice dude, and now there's Rad Beer Company there, which is Cameron Collins.
Yeah. Is that where they are? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
How's Rad? doing?
Modern times,
So
baby.
modern times, I mean, yeah, they're villains now. So
Yeah, Villains is
upgrade.
good.
Anaheim
Anaheim's-
Brewery, is that Radiant?
No, Anaheim is
Or is
now
that modern times?
It's
Or,
monkish,
right?
Monkish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are the people that made Radiant? Because I don't think they're on here.
Town Park. That would be on the other side of the 5.
Yeah,
It's not
Town
listed.
Park.
Yeah, they would be in here
Yeah,
somewhere.
on Lincoln, it'd be like see where the A is for Anaheim on the other side of the 5.
Hmm.
And then we got
the
Good
beer company. They were okay. They had
Yeah,
some
they're-
good
they're-
sours.
They're going to be opening up a place down in Julian pretty soon. They're making a real farmhouse brewery.
Oh no
growing their own
shit.
malt and shit.
That's
Yeah,
kind of fun.
Same name.
I don't know yet.
Taps. I mean, all the taps. The taps were a loss. Like they were good restaurants and breweries.
Yeah.
Like sucks that they were mismanaged. But Network,
Ooh,
don't remember
Network.
the name at all.
Yeah, that was bad beer. That was like that was like a Cicerone spot if you want to
Barley
taste off
Forge.
flavors.
Yeah.
Burley Furge is fucking
Brr,
green cheap now,
brr.
so major upgrade.
I never cared for Barley Forge beers. People loved them.
They were okay.
Helmsman.
Newport Beach Brewing Company.
Yeah, Bruco's no Helmsman ales, which is like not my fave.
That whole thing is like douchey beach brew pub. Like that's their
Yeah.
vibe. And no thanks. Laguna Beach Brewery and Grill, is that related to the Laguna
No.
Beach Brewing that we know?
Totally
of?
different. Totally different.
Yeah. So it was
That's
just
like
a
a
random
90s.
it's
That's
an
like a
old school
90s brew pub,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Laguna
Cis Montaigne,
Is
they
that
were
where
pretty
Cambria
good.
works? Laguna Beach or
Yeah,
where
Laguna
she
Beach
work?
Beer Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now that is Laguna Beach Beer Company. That's their production facility, the Rancho.
The Cis Montaigne. Okay. What else we got? We already looked at these legends.
Long
Blah,
Beach.
blah 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 blah. Timeless Pints. Never went there.
Ooh,
Lakewood.
Yeah. They weren't great.
Liberation. They were actually good. I don't know
Liberation
what the story
wasn't
was
bad.
with them.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't. They were good but not good. Like not making enough money or something. They weren't open that long. 4 years.
PPP stand for? Is that how much money they got during COVID or what?
I imagine it's like their production. Or no, I don't
PPP.
know what PPP stands for.
That's probably
PPP.
go to PPP on a different brewery. Like go to
It's pint per person. That's a lot of PPP.
They couldn't have gotten $4 million from the guy.
I don't know.
Modern
you can
Times?
look that
Yeah.
all up. You can look that all up.
Actually,
Yeah.
the Paycheck Protection Plan or whatever that was. Yeah,
I
that
think
might be
that
it.
is.
Honestly, Modern Times, I could see them getting 4 million. They had a lot of fucking
That's
retail.
true. Yeah.
Who else we got?
And
here
all
in
that
Long
shit got
Beach?
forgiven. Like
Yeah,
Rock
what a
Bottom.
waste.
Jesus Christ! If you were a business owner during
Rock
COVID,
Bottom
in
got no
2004.
PPP loans. That's why they closed. 16 years. I mean, again, they just were. They felt like a 90s brew pub.
It was absolutely.
We did a show
Beechwood.
there, and it was a 90s brew pub.
Aw,
But Beechwood there's already a new brewery opening in there.
I know,
Ism.
but still.
And Beechwood reopened at the fucking
I mean, Beechwood barbecue.
Wondering.
They have Beechwood pizza now. It's 10 times better than the barbecue ever
Seal
was.
Beach.
Yeah, the
still-
barbecue was never
what is
great,
Seal Beach?
honestly.
Is that still something?
Steel
Like,
Beach
do
has been gone.
I know that, but they don't have anything to do with that location anymore.
Nah,
period.
they sold it.
Okay,
They couldn't
all right.
afford it.
And it's also
It
not
was
on
losing
here.
money.
Fun fact. I
Seal
never heard of
Beach
this.
was technically
never heard of these guys.
like a restaurant.
Hercules?
I can see
It's
why
it's
not on
Hawaiian,
there.
right? It's like Hokulei probably is
Oh,
close
never
to
heard of
right.
it.
Never even heard of them. They
Never
were open
opened.
for
Doesn't
several
sound like it.
years.
Timeless Pines.
Out here in Torrance, the dudes, they sucked. Straight
They
up,
finally closed?
never had a good beer from dudes. They apparently closed this year. Strand, they were mixed.
That's a heartbreaker. Yeah.
Owner was
Nice
able to-
Honestly,
dudes.
the one on here that was a bummer that I actually liked their
Rick.
beer. Zymergy, again, never heard of them.
That's a
2
just
years.
a weird name. Like
King
for a
Harbor.
home brewery, yeah. King
King
Harbor.
Harbor is pretty good.
They're reopening with different owners, and
Oh, yeah?
they're not like beer people
Interesting.
using the same name.
Surf
They had a-
Ridge in El Segundo, never
Yeah.
heard of them.
No.
And this one, there's another one. It's like it's like someone's spirits or like, hold on. Yeah. Rob Rubin's Distilling and Brewing in El
All right, Rob.
Segundo. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Never even heard of it. There are a couple ones in LA that are ones I didn't know about that are a bit of a bummer.
Oh yeah, L.A.
Never heard of Six in La Brea Brewing.
Six
That was
in La
open for a year.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Um,
we speaking of LA, we got to get over to Great Notion that just opened.
They have an LA one?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think it's by the train station too.
So Modern Times LA closed, but now that is Native Sons Brewery. We learned at Firkenstein.
I think
Mumford.
that's a
I didn't know
glow-up.
Mumford closed actually, and I actually like their beer. They're of all of the closures, they're one that's like, oh, that's a bummer.
He had really super good beer. That's a bummer.
Yeah, and that dude
Yeah.
was totally like DIY, like hardcore. Yeah, that was sad that they had to close.
Too much banjo.
Iron Triangle. Fuck those guys. Good. Yeah, they closed before like when beer was still at a hype.
Who's
Indie
in
Brewing
Iron
Company?
Triangle?
Indy was always bad.
I haven't
Iron Triangle was bad.
Iron
The bottle
Triangle.
share.
Iron Triangle was the one with the they had that whole
Yeah, the bottle share, dude.
bottle share
I know.
thing.
Come on,
The
playa.
bottle share playa.
Bottle
But
share
who
playa.
took them? Like,
There's another brewery that went out.
It was the people that were part of Sam Adams's thing.
Yeah, it was like
the-
the sixth and what's their Sam Adams like arm of
No, I
craft
think
brewers.
that's actually still open. I bet you. Let me Google that address. I guarantee you, there is.
I think
It's whatever.
ABC.
yeah, the thing
Yeah,
with Iron
search
Triangle
ABC
was
permits.
them hitting up like Danny Fullpint, and that's what I remember anyway, saying that they're gonna have like a secret meetup thing, and there's gonna be shirts and stuff, and I don't know. It was
I got invited to that too, and it was bad.
it was
I
very
keep
bizarre.
wanting to say it was like Craft and Modern Times had that thing with the guy from the like wizardy fucking New England brand. What am I thinking of? Magic Hat. The Magic Hat guy got bought into Modern Time or into Sam Adams.
Yeah, that
and they
rings a
made
bell.
like a weird sub brand, and they whatever brewery. Oh wait, was it Angel City?
Angel
It
City.
was-
That's what
no.
you're thinking of, I think.
It's
But
not.
no,
Angel
City was
City is
already
still there.
downtown. Yeah.
But
Angel
I think
City's still
Angel
they're in
City-
the arts district.
take over the no, maybe not. I maybe conflating a couple. In Santa Monica, we lost the dude's Santa Monica tasting room. I'm
Rip-
sure that'll
rip
be
forever.
missed.
Rip in pieces.
Celador, that was a bummer.
Yeah. They're still making beer though.
So fun fact, for 7 people on the stream, I met the co-owner of Celador at work, because she was working there in the HR department, and she's like, "Yeah, my
Oh no way.
my husband and I were," but they were like divorced
they
or
broke
getting
up.
divorced,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that was a big impetus into why the brewery.
She's like
kinda
a
stopped.
really like brown-haired petite woman.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
She worked HR when I was firing a guy, so I had to talk to her a lot.
I saw because I still follow him on Facebook, and he's with someone else and traveling all over the world. So he's out of the beer scene. not
Telco
with her.
Brewery in Santa Clarita. I remember when they opened, they were like, "Yeah, we all work for the phone company, and now we started a brewery." And
Okay.
Concrete Jungle.
Never heard of him.
Never
No.
heard of them. Telegraph. I remember Telegraph. They used to be around in like 2010. Telegraph bottles were everywhere.
Yeah, they were. That was a fun spot. I was there a couple times.
They were never very good.
What was that
Yeah,
classic
it was
LA
funky.
brewery? Is it still open? I think it started with a Tino. Damn it.
I mean, when I think of old LA breweries, Eagle Rock's been there for a long time.
No, it's
They're
before
still doing
Eagle
good.
Rock. I'm
What
talking
was that one
classic
that we're going to
LA.
look up the location? The Iron Triangle. What's that Iron
It was
Triangle?
Angel City is what I was saying. When I looked up the Iron
It's
Triangle
not.
location, it's like a warehouse or
I
something.
think he wants the address again.
I looked up the address on Google Maps just now, and it was nothing.
Sunset Beer. I think that was Kelly's husband's place, right? It was like a bottle shop kind of thing.
Sunset Beer?
No?
Sunset Beer is just a beer store.
Yeah, but he just showed it on there. But
It's
I
on
think he's-
there. Yeah.
He's
It
part of
closed,
Native
yeah.
Son now. Like he's doing stuff with.
Oh, good on him.
I think I could be incorrect.
Yeah, when you look up the address where Iron Triangle was, it's like there's nothing there.
That's
Put
sad
these
because
beers
I
in the
think they
fridge.
dumped a lot of money into that place too. It was like set the douchery aside, like it was a nice spot. It looked
I heard it
cool.
was a cool place. Yeah, it was just everyone was like, "Yeah, the beer sucks."
Yeah.
But I look at this and like we're talking about the beer apocalypse, right? And it's just like, yeah, no, like rightfully brands that in most cases it was like breweries that weren't very good and weren't making very good beer are.
Go to the one in Burbank, right underneath the word Burbank. Is that
It's a Gordon Biersch restaurant. It was like
Oh,
a brew
okay.
pub, basically BJ's. Like it's BJ's but German.
Yeah. What's the other
Um,
brewery out of Burbank? A friend of the show worked there. Oh God, they were super small. Dude from Smog City.
Trustworthy.
Yeah, that's it. Trustworthy. Yeah. I guess
think
they're
they're
still
still
open
there.
if they're
Yeah.
not on there.
Yeah, it was yeah, friend of the show from Smog. We did the show out there. That was a really fun show.
Yeah.
Kinetic
Yeah, I mean, you're
closed.
right. The breweries I'm seeing, I don't really miss. Maybe one or two here and there, but for the most part, it's no apocalypse. It's just business.
It's not apocalypse. And
the whole thing is like we're still at like 5 times the amount of breweries we had 10 years ago. Like it's not an apocalypse if it's just some of them don't make it. But it's so weird how like our in general we just expect infinite growth, and if it's not infinite growth it's like, well, it's dying. It's like, well, it's not dying, it's just
no, it's a
stable.
2%. Yeah, 2% loss production. It's not like an apocalypse.
Well,
Right.
I brought up Packing House before. You know, they're just doing their thing, and they're making enough money to keep the business going and to pay their employees, and everyone seems pretty happy there. I mean, if you check in on them on Instagram, they're just. I think they have a rotation of 10, maybe 12 beers. Sometimes it gets down to 6, depending on what's going on. But they have a hardcore local following. They have concerts there at least, I think, twice a week. Like local bands coming in, regulars coming in. Our friend Carlos Granillo that does barbecue, he's there, I think, twice a month maybe, or at least once a month doing stuff. So I mean, they're a good example of a local brewery just staying super local. And if they can get bigger, that's great, but they're not focused on that.
Yeah, one thing that I really see, especially here in Orange County, is the good breweries are always packed. They have good events, they have good music, friendly staff, the beer is phenomenal. And the places that are struggling, they have none of that. It's like you walk in, it's like a ghost town. You get vibes that just aren't like hot,
And
like welcoming.
They've got 8 beers on that are fucking mid as hell. They've got like an IPA that's got no hop character and is mild. Like it tastes like good homebrew, maybe. And there's nothing about the place. It's like a generic industrial park with fucking cheap metal chairs. And there's nothing there that makes you want to be there. And the product is just mediocre at best.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, why would I go to this place? And even then, a lot of those places are still doing fine.
I mean, even that's why another brewery in Riverside, Urali, that I'm almost positive is still open. They were right by
one,
Inland
right?
Empire
Like,
Brewing.
Yeah.
It's Uriel, yeah.
Super, super, super small, and I don't think they host events and do anything. They're still open, and they have people that go there, and
it's like a beer desert.
Fine. It's just I don't go there, but they're still there, and good for them. Like that's great. And their beer's pretty decent. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about their beer.
So I was looking for this video I was just watching the other day about there's a brewer, I don't remember the name. He's in Austin, Texas, and he was talking about like all these breweries closing. And he put forth like as an actual professional brewer talking about how like leases are expiring and the new leases are being put out. And in some cases they're like double. Yeah. And these people just can't, that's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. You just can't afford your location anymore.
I've seen that. I've heard about that a lot too, where it's like, yeah, the new lease is way more than they can afford to pay. So
Yeah.
we're just going to.
That's what happened at Anaheim Brewery. That honestly, they're just like, we went from a total affordability to now they want us to pay like 36 grand a month, and they're like, we're selling beer here. And then the spot in front of it, Umami Burger, went out, so the entire building was like empty. So they raised the rent and just forced people out.
But apparently Monkish is doing well enough to pay the rent.
They are, dude. Yeah, people walk in, they get like a few tasters, they walk out with like 48 fucking beers, 2 flats.
And like even like referencing hype, like even during COVID, Monkish was one of the bigger COVID breweries that everyone talked about. And
like
now,
Monkish is solidly in the hype tier of breweries now, right?
Yeah,
like
but
when
you
I
don't
see
hear
people
much anymore.
When I
right?
see people from outside of California
every now
talking about
and then.
visiting here, they're like, I want to go to Monkish because that's that's one of the places you go.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Henry's a good dude. I'm so happy he's successful.
To the point where it's like a guy from Arizona is like, I'm gonna be in San Diego. Should I drive up to Monkish? And I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's not that
And
far.
And like even then, it was falling on deaf ears. Where it's just like, yeah, but I really want to go to Monkish. I'm like, I mean, go, I guess. Like the Anaheim tasting room is actually a lot better than the Torrance one.
Which beer Reddits are you in?
Well, that was somebody at work actually in like a beer
okay.
chat.
You said something about Reddit.
So I found that video and put it in our private chat if you want to check it out. It's really good, dude. Spot on and everything.
Spot on, Bevan.
Spot on. I mean, every corner of the world has a different vibe. Like a brewery that's closing in Portland, Maine, may have totally different reasons than a brewery here in Orange County. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some of it is just like places in like the hospitality or restaurant industry. Like restaurants close all the time.
And he put that in his video, as well as like a lot of these places just wanted to make beer, and the place down the street has food, and they're like, fuck no, I guess I have to make food to stay in business, and or now I have to start distilling to stay in business. And a lot of these places were like, I just wanted to fucking make beer, dude. I don't want to like be a distiller and a restaurateur and have like all these other problems with the kitchen and shit like that. So
yeah, I think a brewery going out of business because the rents doubled, that sucks. Like, because it sounds like they were making enough to stay afloat and do their thing, and just it's like getting kicked in the shin.
Slurpy Dave,
thanks, Slurpy Dave.
What's up in the Isle of Man? I have
Isle of Man.
It's in between Ireland and mainland UK.
Okay. It's part of the United Kingdom, I think. Right?
I
don't know the United Kingdom, England, Britain, Great Britain, the whole thing. I've watched explainer videos like 10 times, and it's impossible to keep up with. It's
my ancestry goes all the way back to the Isle of Man, which is kind of funny. So
that's why you're so manly.
I feel, yeah, I have my own Isle. My Isle of Man is just all Coors Banquet.
So, Greg, I saw that you finished your Duolingo German thing. Right?
No, not finished. So I went, yeah. So now there's like a bonus unit that's all just just review.
Okay.
But I'm done with the actual thing.
Speak it right now? Like say a say.
Yeah, ich kann Deutsch sprechen.
I like to drink beer with my friends.
Ich mag Bier trinken mit meiner Freunde.
Okay, I get
I'm
it.
assuming that's correct.
Sounded right. No, I the words are close enough to figure out.
Ich mag with meine Freunde, with you guys, Bier trinken. Beer is beer. So
all right, this person said that they're separate from the UK. Sorry, Slurpy Dave, I didn't mean to fuck it up.
Yeah, we don't know.
I clicked the show. The show thing is really laggy right now. Like I click it and it comes up 30 seconds later. That's why they got all weird for a second.
Oh. My German's pretty good.
Jason,
I'm taking German classes.
What's that?
Jason, are you referring to our live stream lag?
Yeah. Like when people are commenting, I'm clicking the show button to bring it onto the stream, and it's lagging like 30 seconds before it comes up.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
I
that's
see.
weird.
Okay.
yeah, so
That
that was
can
I
explain
clicked
that.
on one post and then I clicked another one, and then the other one came up like a minute later, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I clicked. It's just being.
I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
There's discussion between our boy Slurpy Dave and B Beantown, and by our boy I mean guy who I've just seen today for the first time. But we got friend of the show Andy Richter hanging out in the chat. We got a couple people hanging out.
All the
Um,
YouTubes.
But the Isle of Man and I believe regular England person B Beantown have been talking about a snake bite, which is apparently a mix of lager and cider, which sounds
Insider,
gross.
yeah.
That sounds
It's not
gross.
bad. It's not bad. It's a
I
good
don't
way to
know.
get really drunk really fast.
I mean, why is it more drunk than anything? Cider's like 5%. They're both 5% because sweet.
I don't know. It adds a lot of sweetness.
I mean, yeah, cider's
Honestly, like if you ever went to the Anthill pub at UCI, there was like a really good craft beer bar there back in the day, and like every other person walking to the bar would be like, "Snake bite."
I remember that was one of the places you could get younger for a minute.
Yeah, dude. Not anymore. Now it's like industrial.
Is it? That sucks. Did they have like one cool guy that was like fucking like a super beer nerd that was getting them all
Yeah,
the good
exactly.
shit?
Yeah, that was a bummer. Yeah, we lost. They told him like over a weekend that he's fired.
Oh,
And,
that sucks.
yeah, it was really sad. Such a beloved place too.
It was always weird because I'm like, am I gonna go to the college and drink? That seems like a fucking weirdo thing
I did
to
it
do.
all the time. It was great. Yeah,
Dude, the fucking UCR, the barn, man. Like back
the
in
barn
the
is
day,
red. Dude,
that's
back
where
in the
you
day, I
would
saw so many
go.
bands there.
Yeah. I saw Matt Skiba and Kevin Seconds there. Like Matt
nice.
Skiba was 10 feet in front of me. It was fucking
John,
cool.
you're talking about the second generation. When I went to the real barn, I
was at the
drink.
real barn.
Well, I couldn't drink at
Oh,
the real
doggies.
barn because I was fucking 17.
You could have if you went when you were 21. They just renovated it. Like
It closed
5 years
when I was
ago.
18. I mean, it's still
No.
there, but it's
They closed it
shut-
to like do repairs, but like the original
Yeah,
barn
but when
was
it
torn down
reopened-
like 5 years ago.
But when did they tear it down?
Oh yeah, it's fucking
Oh, that
awesome
sucks.
now. Yeah, they kept the bones, like the wood of the
Mhm.
original barn, like the restaurant, but they gutted everything else. So technically, it's still the same structure, but it's all brand new. Otherwise,
So they closed in like 2019 or like 1999. And then they reopened as more of just a campus bar, and it wasn't like
Yes.
a concert venue as much. They would have shows occasionally, but it wasn't their main thing.
you're correct.
And I never went at that phase. But
You went during the hanging off the rafters and shit
Yeah.
just going crazy.
yeah, it was the best venue I ever went to in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like because
I'm-
I used to have UCR on my route for work. That's the one and I loved going there. One, my wife went there for her post grad, or was it maybe undergrad? I think she went to Fullerton for post grad. And then the barn. Like I was just like, I get to work at the barn. Like that's so cool. I can just go to the barn like whenever I want. I mean, you can do it anyway, but I didn't have to pay for parking or anything. I don't know.
Go milk a bull.
It was very nostalgic in losing that job. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it
Love
was a
working there.
concert venue where like it was a literal barn with rafters and everything, and
Mhm.
the front row of rafters in front of the stage is where they put all the lights and shit. And they would let you climb on the rafters as long as you weren't on the lights one, because if you're fucking with the lights, then you can cause problems. So like,
As long as you're not fucking with their shit, you're good.
yeah. So like people would crowd surf, and if you got like a boost, you could grab up onto the rafters and then go climb up. And so people would be fucking hanging out up there. It was a fucking wild ass fucking venue.
Yeah, dude.
You would come out of there like literally completely soaked in everybody's sweat, like not just your own, but like
It was hot as fuck in there.
yeah, it was such a fucking dope place. I saw so
Yeah,
many
I
good
saw, like-
bands there.
Yeah.
I met Brandon Boyd there from Incubus.
wow.
When he still had dreadlocks and shit. Because we were like we were regulars.
My toes to the sand.
It was before that, is when they were more new metal.
Happy.
It'd be like, I'm sick of painting it black and white. My pen is dry and I'm all uptight.
Well, yeah, what's the album before? Not
Science.
before Morning View. Science. There you go.
Make
Yes.
Yourself was the breakout album.
Science.
Science
is
was
the best Incubus album.
It's a new metal rap rock album, but
It's
yeah,
so good.
New metal.
I don't know if I can share my. Let me see if I can.
I
Share
saw
my
Head
screen
PE
on
there
here.
one time. My brother got pulled on stage by the Cottonmouth Kings at a show there.
What?
It's the most IE shit. We saw like a show that was like Goldfinger and the Cottonmouth Kings and like another band, and Travis Barker was playing drums on a lowrider bike for the Cottonmouth Kings. It was the most IE shit you've seen in your fucking life. But and there was like a mummy who had like he had this like little like smooth pad that he stood on so he could like slide his feet around while he's like doing the robot. So it's just like this guy in like dressed like a mummy in a fur coat, like smoking a fucking huge blunt, just like doing the robot while they're just like Cottonmouth Kings in an Empire rap. It's fucking the most IE shit you've seen in your life. It was wild.
That's what the barn looks like now.
A spinning circle?
You can't see it?
Nah.
Oh, what's going on?
There it goes. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, that's a whole different
I think,
place.
yeah, Jason's lagging. It's not us.
Yeah,
oh, it's because I started uploading my fucking show.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, because it's been up on the screen for a while.
It's Internet 101. Yeah, so that's the barn now. It's really nice, but
it does look nice, but it's not a barn.
I love those. What I always like about UCR is like that smell of eucalyptus everywhere.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, you know that mellow gold grapefruit I mentioned earlier? I looked it up on Google, and it was actually invented at UCR, or like bred.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, really?
I used to work for a UCR for a zoologist, or a zoologist who, it was in Irvine, but it was UCR Extension, and he would work on like pesticides and shit like that. And I was like their hired technologist who would buy like Macintoshes for everybody back in the day.
I was just hoping that
map
you
out
like
all their fields
jerking
and
off
shit.
Elephants.
Yeah, you know how it is for
Yeah,
bugs.
I had to manually get the elephant cum, so that was my job. That was Craig's whole job.
I had to reach my head into the elephant's butthole and tickle it just in the right way.
Okay.
Apparently, that's how they jerk off elephants. By the way, it was on a podcast I was listening to. They go through the butt to the prostate. They don't just
they punch it.
They don't just crank the hog.
And then it tightens up.
And then it's just
like,
just loads, just blasted out. Blup, blup,
Gusher.
blup, blup, blup.
Elephant. Elephant.
Okay.
Loads. Slurpy Dave.
Oh my lord.
I want to hear about some jokes from Slurpy Dave there.
Slurpy Dave fucking threw a joke in the fucking chat, dude.
I'm in a Viagra
I saw
and
that,
stuff
yeah.
for breakfast. I don't know if I'm coming or going.
Got him.
I clicked it before I said anything, and that's how long it took.
That sounds like you're
That's a
gonna
Jason
get
problem. Okay, so
sounds
I'm
like
gonna
you're
click. I'm gonna click something. The same joke right now.
Yeah, it comes right up.
Yeah.
Instant.
So
No,
It's
I'm
called
done.
It's called a Blumpkin.
okay. Well,
Don't look
thanks
that up.
everyone for hanging out because now we're talking about Blumpkins, and I think it's a good time to stop the stream. So
Thanks, Dave.
Bumpkins.
Thanks, Slurpy Dave.
Slurpy Dave, good to see you, man. Andy Richter, thanks for hanging out. B Bean Town, fucking all the
Stay ahead of
crew.
my ancestors. of
Alluring
Isle Man.
Riv, thanks for offering us more followers. BT Ferguson, Steve B, always a G. Love you all.
all right, guys.
Drink tomorrow.
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.